find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the down pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah,
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
down. Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Maine Sim Racing Series final round, 250 laps of Oxford Plains. I am James Barber, going to be joined in the booth by Bradley Dalton here for the final race of the season. No points, it's all on the winner. The winner will get $80, second will get $40, third will get $25, and the fourth will be $15 itself. Oxford Plains Speedway, full asphalt surface, 0.375 miles or 0.56 kilometers. The banking, 0 degrees on the straightaways, 5 degrees in the corners, and with lap times trickling in at the moment of about 14 seconds, it is going to be very, very interesting. And I think one that I think we're going to all enjoy. Welcome in if you are here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz you can do on YouTube for free. Let us know in YouTube chat who you're cheering on, who you're going to be your favourites, and who you think's going to take the $80 prize money. Oh, well, let's find out. We're going to be finding out very, very shortly here. No fast repairs. Incident limits don't matter on this one, but the fast repairs do as well. And if they cause 2 cautions, they are unfortunately out. And that will be the end of the race. Let's say we don't have any of that happening here today, but let's bring Brad into the booth. Brad, welcome in there, sir. How are you?
I am good, James. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody watching on the fun YouTubes. Obviously, if you're watching the VOD after, if you're one of the drivers, I hope you had a good race. If you didn't, then I am very sorry in advance. I'm really excited for this one, James, and let me tell you why I'm excited. All of these guys that are on track have some sort of real-life connection to Maine, and they're all in it for the glory. This is very much for the glory. I've been doing a little bit of research before the broadcast. I've been looking up some of the drivers, like Max Cookson, who has raced up in Maine on short tracks, and of course, Mr. Bubar racing out on short tracks as well. So all of these guys are very connected to the Maine short track scene in some way or another. All of these guys should know their way around a car, which should give us some good moments as we see cars getting launched up in the air.
Yeah, you know, it is. We've just seen it, unfortunately. It is the way it goes. And this is, of course, short track racing at its best there as well, as Tyler takes a trip off the side of the circuit there as well. What do we think? 250 laps, right? We've got 14-second laps. They're going to be rocked off in about an hour's time if all goes well. Do we think all is going to go well, Brad, or do we think it's going to be a little bit hit or miss on what the situation will be?
I think it's going to go fairly smooth, except for a couple of moments. I'm kind of looking, and I've still been looking some stuff up here and there, but Oxford actually runs an Oxford 250 special at the end of their season up in Maine. So this track runs a real-life 250-lap race, which a lot of these drivers should be familiar with. So a lot of these guys, this is going to be just like real-life racing for them. And of course, this is only run in the off-season. The Maine Sim Racing Series, this is the finale until November, whenever everything dies down up in the Northeast, and they get the snow and they get all the fun things that you can't get on a racetrack with. So then they get to settle in and do the sim racing. So these guys should feel right at home, and I think that's going to help them a bit. It's going to help them make this go pretty smooth as much as they can.
Yeah, well, let's not hope for snow, Brad, as we've only just got rain within iRace, and unfortunately no rain in NASCARs, but that's obviously, you know, for reasons of pure safety, to be honest, because we don't want rain on a NASCAR oval, because that would just completely cause chaos. here as well. We did have it, of course, Brad, but it's going to be, I think, an overall very exciting situation. You can see some of the lap times, 14.63 at the moment for Logan Melcher, who is at the top. Then Devin Landry from JNS Racing, he's sitting in second on a 14.66. Haggart on a 14.72, tied with Curry and Merrill on a 14.74, with Ricker on a 14.74 as well. Slicks, go, go, go. It's going to be that, mate. It is going to be thick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be 250 laps, hopefully of not what you're watching on your screen at the moment. We're hoping for it to be a little bit cleaner than that one, Brad. Otherwise, we could be here for a while, especially as the fact that caution laps do not count.
Yeah, that's going to make things interesting. I kind of like it, though, with as short as this track is. You should be able to cycle cautions pretty quick and get through them. But 250 green flag laps is what we're looking at tonight. And I've done the math. We're looking at, if everything goes perfect, there's not a single caution, we're looking at about 60 minutes of action. I'm going to tell you probably more, an hour 15. I'm expecting a few cautions. So I'd say more an hour 10, hour 15, somewhere in there. Anything longer than that, and someone has had a very, very bad... Okay, yeah, let's not see that in the race, but...
Was that Matt Mingo? It was. Look at this.
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard styly. I feel like we need to be like full Dukes of Hazzard on that one. Slicks has got his popcorn out in YouTube chat already after just watching Matt Mingo go up in the air there. That was very exciting for everybody, and I think... I don't really want to see that, Brad. I don't know about you, but we really don't need to be seeing that early on.
Yeah, I think that's the fun of the warm-up round, is these guys are just kind of... They're getting all the jitters out now. They're getting all the wrecks out of the way now. They're leaving it all in the warm-up where it doesn't matter. Because, of course, as you mentioned earlier, if you cause 2 incidents, race control parks you. You're going to have somebody on your radio saying, hey, back in the pit lane, you're done for the night. So, and that's not what these guys want to do. So if you're going to make a mistake, a warm-up is a good time to do it.
Absolutely as well. Adam Gray, welcome in, buddy. Hope you are well. Thanks so much for joining us as well. Don't forget, guys, you can drop comments down below at any point you want to as well. We will read them after, and I do try and respond. However, there is quite a lot coming through, so I do try and respond as best we can. But don't forget, get them in there, get your comments down below, and we'll have some fun here as well. 5 minutes left of warm-up. He literally flew, says Slicks. Yes, he definitely did. He took the high line, hit the hay bale. I'm going to presume that could be a hay bale, or it could be sand mounted up around the lights there as well. Let's jump on board and we'll have a look how quickly we are going to be taking this lap. I think overall it's going to be very short, sweet, and a job's a good one as the person I end up pick goes round there. Let's jump on board with Noah Haggart as he's coming round now, which will be effectively turn 4, and then goes across the line. There we go. Now let's have a look at the quick lap. We're coming into 1 and 2. 5 degree braking on 1 and 2, then straight down to 0. And as he's got a little bit of a flicker on there, unfortunately for him. So we'll jump on board with PJ Merrill, who has just gone across the start finish. Like you see him coming into turn 1 now, hugging that inside line, using the banking as best as he can. He's going to drift out a little bit wide, try and get past the 54 if he can. If not, he's going to stick his nose up the inside, hope to get the run out the corner onto the straightaway, which isn't very long. It's like an almost constant circle, Brad. You're constantly turning left. There doesn't seem to be any form of let up on the left and the right, does it? It's just constant left all the time.
There's really not. If you look at it from an overhead shot, James, it is essentially the most circular oval you can have. It is very, very impressive. There's very, very small amount on the front stretch. And the other thing I've been looking at that's really been confusing me is look at the pit lane on the inside of the track. It's so small that the pit lane, there's like a straight pit box, but then there's one that kind of weaves through the middle as well, where some of these guys are having to pit. So this is a very unique setup. But again, all these guys should be comfortable with it because it's right up in Maine, and they all should be familiar with it to some degree.
Yeah, absolutely there as well. Adam, get yourself out. You don't even need a simulator, dear sir. You can do what I do when I drive. Strap a steering wheel to my desk, pedals underneath, and away we go as Cam Childs also takes to the jump. there as well. Dustin Staples, very impressive broadcast you got going here. Thank you very much for that one, Dustin. I hope you are well. And thank you so much for joining us. Spencer, welcome in to you. So a great job from everybody here coming into the last 2 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us as well. Like, subscribe, turn on the bells, do all that other fancy jazz. Doesn't cost you a penny on YouTube. It's great. So there we go. But the pit lane, you are right. I was looking at the map of this earlier on and I was sitting there going, okay, so we're going in here, we're coming out there, and then we're doing almost a moustache style pit lane, because it does, to me, it goes up to the middle of the lip and then it comes back out the other side, Brad.
Yeah, it's very unique, but it is really, really, I like it. I like tiny short tracks like this that do different, unique things, and maybe that is just the dirt track racer in me coming out and my love for short tracks coming out. But this is where the fun really comes down. When you have these weird, unique little setups that these drivers have to contend with, it makes it so much fun. And I'm curious to see if we get pit stops, how they handle it, or if it causes any sort of problems for these guys.
Well, hoping that's all just practice done. So there we go, at the right specific moment there as well. Let's bring you up the grid. Corey Buba is out in first with Cam Childs in second, Matt Cookson third, Cam Richards fourth, Jake Plummer in fifth with Matt Mingo in sixth, Adam Jocelyn in seventh, Devon Landry in eighth, David Greenleaf in ninth, Justin Gallo in 10th, and Tristan Scher in 11th. PJ Merrill is sitting down in 12th. Tyler Jalber in 13th, Calvin Rose in 14th, Jake McKee in 15th, Corey Billings 16th, Dominic Currit 17th, Tyler Connolly 18th, Gleason Smith in 19th, Jason Ricker in 20th, Ben Burgess 21st, Bug Parrott in 22nd, Billy Charles 23rd, and Noah Haggett down in 24th place. On from that, Ryan Modery in 25th, Michael Davis in 26th, Brian Conover in 27th, Ed Connolly 28th, William Parker 29th, Andrew McLaughlin 30th, Scott Tapley 31st, Logan Melcher 32nd, Nathan Barr 33rd, and Sean Kimball in 34th place. 34 cars on a very short circuit like this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Brad would be the word I was looking for.
Interesting is one word that you can use. I think the word that I would use is exciting and challenging. I think it's going to be a very, very challenging race for some of these drivers to make it through the full 250 laps without any incidents.
Well, we're going to be up. We're going to be up and running. The pace car lights are looking like they're off, but he's still going round. Bless him here as well. Roussel Motorsports, that M-shaped pit road at night is like looking in a pocket. No lights. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. No lights on the track. Yeah, there we go. I'm guessing Oxford doesn't run at night then, you know what I mean? Let's not get that as well. I'm interested to see where the pace car goes, Brad, because I've never been to this circuit in real life. Oh, so he dives in there. So he comes off free. Right, here we go now. We're going to get the racing up and running as Pooba takes the inside line, runs it round there with Cookson and Child swapping places here once more. Adam Jocelyn in fourth, Cam Richards fifth, and David Greenleaf settling in sixth. Everybody has made it through. Looks like with Jake Plummer, Bug Parrott and Sean Kimball have not started. Even Nathan Bath at the back here. Two wide at some points of the circuit, one wide at the other here, Brad, as well. And at the moment, Corey Boba leads the way.
Yeah, Corey Bubar getting away very well there. You saw he jumped the field and got that start right underway. And remember, these laps are going to go very, very quick. We're looking at 14.8 is the fastest lap for the leader and about 15 through the rest of the field. So these laps are going to move very, very quick. So everybody, make sure you keep your eyes on the field because things could change in an instant. And of course, traditional short track racing, that inside line is going to be what we want. I don't think the high line is going to work. And you can see it there with the number 23 and the number 31, Mr. Tyler Connolly there, who's trying to hold on to it and keep the way around. It's not going to be the way you want to go. And there is Tyler Jalbert we're taking a look at. And Matt Mingo up in the mix as well. We were talking about Mingo before the race a little bit. And he seemed pretty excited to get this race going. All these drivers seem to be very comfortable. And we're starting to see single file racing develop. These guys want to settle into the groove early. They want to keep things going, James. They know it's 250 laps. And you and me talk about it at every NASCAR broadcast. And don't care where you're at on lap 1, lap 5, lap 100, lap 200. It's where were you at when lap 250 hit?
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is you can see the field, how spread out they are at the moment. Number 1 is coming around the backside, and number 31's just going over the line. They're literally the opposite side of each other at the moment. Tristan Shear is on the outside of Mingo, and he has been running that outside line for the last 4 laps now. Is he going to be able to tuck in at any single point? The problem is,
I believe that is Bunk Parrott. We've seen.
Looks like Billy Childs.
What happened?
I've got Billy Childs as unfortunately having a...
got some help there from the number 54.
Yeah. Caution number 1, unfortunately. Billy Childs there was assisted around, wasn't he, unfortunately, from the number 54 car. Okay, so the number 54, Noah Haggart, there assisted child round there, unfortunately for him. So Noah Haggart there helping his car go round, and not an ideal scenario for that one, Brad, because at the end of the day, we definitely don't want that on.
Yeah, not at all. And again, remember, caution laps don't count here, so we are just going to be going around locked in on the lap count that we're at. But it's kind of interesting to watch and see how these cars develop. These cars don't link up together at all. Those front bumpers to rear bumpers do not connect. And so when you get a car underneath like that, it's just going to pick up the rear wheels and send them around. And if you're the car in front, you're just a passenger at that point. There's not a thing you can do to try to make a difference in that situation.
Yeah, no, you're definitely stuck. I think that's the thing, isn't it? You're stuck there, and you really can't be doing anything else. As we know, as soon as your nose goes up the inside, you are going to be in trouble, and especially with the constant door that's likely to be closing. I think that's going to be the thing, isn't it? When doors shut there, it's not going to be easy. Fun fact, Jason Ricker is in charge of tech at Oxford Plains Speedway. Ooh, there we go. Some inside information as these drivers line up 2 wide at the moment here as well. So there is Jason Ricker from the 229 there, as he is in the number 9 machine. So that is Jason Ricker there as well. So we'll be back up and getting this up and running once more, getting the racing underway, I'm sure, very, very shortly, as the numbers seem to be having a little bit of a breakdown at the moment. But then again, this is not the first session I've seen this with a day after an update, unfortunately. But Boo Bear up front at the moment here as well. Pace cars in. We are up and running. We are green. Once more, Boo Bear, Coward, Charles, Cookson, Landry also making the move as well. I can tell you one thing. Adam Jocelyn has got the most beautiful livery. The brighter the better. Pleases me no end. As Charles is trying to take it 2 wide. He's trying to go around the outside of Cookson. Cookson's trying to run the inside line. They've got the number 40 of Landry tucked up right behind him at the moment as well. And unfortunately for Cookson, he's just got nowhere to go there, Brad. He's kind of strung out like a pair of my dirty laundry on the washing line here as well, because he's latched onto that outside line. Oh.
Ooh. What's the saying, James, in NASCAR? Since I know you've been following NASCAR a lot recently, cautions breed cautions.
Yep. And unfortunately, it looks like PJ Merrill. There was a big checkup in front of that one, Brad. There was a checkup in front, and unfortunately, he just didn't have anywhere to go. You'll see him come into the back of the 03 one here, and unfortunately for PJ, he just didn't have anywhere to go whatsoever. Look, there's the checkup, there's the 03, and unfortunately, it's all or nothing, and then PJ just gets lifted around on lap 10, and unfortunately not a good move for these guys so early on. We are up under yellow flag here again. We're 2 cautions deep already. Lap 10, we adhered to our first one, then we got going again after that. Unfortunately, this is the second one. It's been a little bit of a caution fest. We don't want the rest of the race going like this, Brad, otherwise we could be in deep trouble.
Yeah, and these guys will be in their head and they'll be saying and they'll be thinking to themselves, okay, we just need to get the race going. But it's also, when you're a race car driver, we can show it back in the broadcast at quarter speed, half speed, and say, hey, here's what happened. This is what caused the wreck. But for these drivers, that's happening in a tenth of a second. They don't get time to react like we do. We can sit back and watch the replays after and just kind of relax, but they don't get time to react. So if there's a small checkup like that, it can easily kind of roll over into a big one, just like somebody hitting the brakes in front of you on the interstate.
Yeah, absolutely. And the problem is as well is when you're running so close, you've got nowhere to go on what could be classed as a traditional egg-shaped oval, right? And that's practically what we're looking at. And I think at the end of the day, there's no way physically he would have avoided that one. Whether or not you put the blame on PJ, you cannot, or do you put it on Tristan Shear, who is the one that originally had to check up here? But I can tell you one thing, it doesn't matter. Booba has already jumped, and he's already gone with Cookson, Landry, Charles, Jocelyn, and Greenleaf. Ducked up right behind him there as well. Cam Richards in the mix. He's stuck, unfortunately, on the outside line as Cam. What is it looking at? That is what he's seeing at the moment. Another man that can't get in, and unfortunately, he's just going to get strung out and strung out and strung out unless he can bully his way in here. But he's got Tyler running right up the inside of the 12 car, which is Matt Mingo, and is not giving any room to that outside to Shear whatsoever.
Yeah, these drivers are going to be kind of sitting, and they're going to have to make a decision, especially if you're on that outside line. How can you get your way back in with the pack? How can you get back in that single file run? Or are you just going to hang it out and just hope and just try to make that outside line run, which it does seem like here that you can run that outside line and be fairly competitive. Where I can see, that's the leader spinning. That's the number 12 going around. But are we still green, or am I wrong?
No, we're yellow. We are yellow on lap 15. It did look like it was up front at this point. Oh, let's pick up on that again. It was at the front end. Oh, that's the 12 and also the 38 was it going round there. That was Booba, unfortunately, going round. Apologies if I'm saying your name wrong there, dear sir. And I'm wondering if it was Matt Cookson in the 39 that had put him there. As Cookson is there, it was Cookson that caused that problem as well. So unfortunately, drama already. Let's pick up with some of the things that goes on here as well. Oxford Plains Speedway will be hosting a $40,000 to win race this year. I'm there, Dustin. Send me the tickets, you pay for them, and I'll come over and drive your car. Adam, how much does one spend on a simulator? Dude, it really is entirely up to you. All I would do first is buy a Logitech wheel, strap it to my desk, and see if you enjoy it first. That would be the easiest thing. Michelle, come on. Let's not antagonize him. 1,000 she's put in YouTube chat there, and Adam's coming out straight away. Can I borrow 1,000? Oh, Michelle, you let yourself into that one, my love. You gotta break the bank. So there we go. Oh, unfortunately, interaction there as well. Slicks, I gotta say, you're all amazing at broadcasting. It's not easy to do what you did. Thank you. Us sim racers really need that. Hashtag respect. No dramas at all, buddy. This is what we do on our regular basis. And if you come and join us on Sunday, you'll see 6 of them going out, all within about an hour's gap. So if you've not got nothing on a Sunday and you like your racing, well, I can tell you now, come and join us on a Sunday because there's 6 broadcasts going out on Sunday, and I can safely say that as well. So you've got lots. You've got GT3s, you've got GT... What else have we got, Brad? Oh, my dearie me. We've got FTR Multi-Class Series, 60 cars, 5 classes, Mustangs, MX-5s, Clios, they're all going at it as well. The VW Jetta is going to be in there. They're going out. We've got F1 going out, F1 23, that's also happening. We've got IGP's Race for Bimala, their annual charity race as well. So join us for that one. If you've got any spare change scraping down the back of the sofa, any dollars, that will all do there as well. We're back under running. We've gone to a single file now, Brad. They pulled it into a single file restart. Landry, Charles, Jocelyn, Greenleaf, as they were. We knew it was going to come single file with 3 cautions deep. Too quick to keep running doubles.
Yep. Once you get a few cautions under your belt, race control is going to make the decision. They're going to say, nope, you guys can't handle it. Go single file and let's just get this race going. Because the last thing we want to do is every 2 to 3 laps be throwing cautions for 3 to 5 laps. So these guys are going to be going quick. And now it really is just a race of endurance. It's just survival at this point. Hold on to it. Keep it going. Do what you can and just survive these 250 laps. Just let's settle down, boys. Let's get this race going. 31 cars trying to keep it around.
Yeah, absolutely there as well. Fractidamus, what's up, James? And that is my TJ Spainhour from the BSC. Welcome in, TJ. Hope you are well. Or is it Brad? I can never remember which one has got that here as well. But Adam Jocelyn in that bright green livery. Dude, you are my favourite as you're rocking off, coming around turn 3 across the start-finish straight now as well. He's only my favourite, Brad, because he's bright, he's beautiful, and I can recognise him who he is on the circuit.
I'm going to do a little bit of research because I have a weird feeling. Actually, yeah, we were talking to Adam before. I believe that green is kind of set to what he drives in real life. I think his car has that green on it in real life. So that is a very, very good decision from him in that paint job, and it doesn't surprise me a bit. Again, most of these guys have real-life experience to some degree behind the wheel working with a team. They do something in the Maine motorsport scene, and that translates here into iRacing. And as we go through, I mean, just watching these guys go around, you can see the experience showing. These guys are really settling into that groove here on lap 22. And again, every 15 seconds, a lap is ticking off. So this is going to start moving quicker and quicker, James. If anyone needs to go get a drink or grab something to eat, I'd recommend doing it right now. There's a big wreck up in the front. Oh,
man.
Ooh, that got a few cars in there, James. What exactly happened?
I've got a funny feeling it's coming off Tyler Connolly here. I'm just going to keep an eye on this one for a brief second here, guys. Bear with on lap 23. I think there was a little checkup up front, and then it all just goes a little bit. There's the checkup. You see it? Top left corner.
It started with the 83.
No, it can't be the 83.
It started with the 83, I believe.
It did not. Give over. You're blagging it. It did not start with the 83. We can't have it starting with the 83. My favourite colour, and all of a sudden he goes, and hopefully he doesn't do this, but let's have a look. I think there is a massive checkup on this corner of the 83 of Jocelyn, and unfortunately he tries to get that inside line. He can see the car running wide. He hits the brakes, and unfortunately, dear sir, you have got nowhere to go, and the 58 has got nowhere to go either. And then it is just lift off city, and everybody behind just lifts off in time here as well. Well, caution number 4 on lap 23. And unfortunately, some people are in the pits. You can see the double exit. What do you do on that pit lane if you've got a double exit? Do you stop? Do you wait till the green flags come on? Do the lights come on? Is there traffic lights there in real life? How do you get out of that pit box if both of you are coming out together?
You know, I was wondering the same thing, and I don't have an answer for you. I genuinely don't know how you would come out there, and that is I've got to wonder. In real life, I'd say it's probably they both go out, give a little respective space, and then race control hits the radio and says, nope, you here. And I'm sure iRacing does something similar. It's both people pass the green cones, and then iRacing tells you where to go. But we're already green flag running again, James. That was quick.
Yeah, Landry out in front again. We are single file. Charles, Ross, Jocelyn, Jalbert, Mingo, and Curate again. Still scraping it out. Calvin Rose here. I'm a little bit worried about that 31. And Matt Cookson, he is just about, if he does not keep on to the back of the pack, he is going to be lapped sooner than he really wants to there, as the 31 of Cookson has got Landry right chasing him as well. Landry is absolutely flying. Charles and Jocelyn can't get behind him. Jalbert Mingo there as well. You can see Mingo's on the outside of the 82, which is Curate on the inside. Is Mingo going to be able to run it on that outside line? I know the outside line looks like it's working there, Brad, but can he run it all the way around? That's going to be the question.
It seems like the outside's been able to run all the way around. I haven't seen anything that's made me think something different. I mean, they're not doing bad at all with that outside line. So, I mean, if you can hold your own on the outside line, hold your own on the outside line. I respect it entirely.
Yeah, absolutely. Me as well. But I will say one thing for Matt Mingo. He can't get strung up there for too long. Dominic Curate just went, dear sir, if you're coming through, you better get hold of Kim Kardashian and grab a new nose at the same time, because I can tell you one thing, you ain't coming in that pack unless I'm going to let you, and that ain't happening either. So there we go. All the way through, we've got action battling all the way through here, Brad. How do we keep up with everything that's going on? Well, we do it, and we do it well, as we got the 45 of Michael Davis alongside the outside line there as well, with the 12 of Corey Bubar, who's trying to come back up the front of the field.
I tell you what, Corey Bubar lost out big there with that incident, getting spun around early and recovering fairly well, not in a bad position. P23, I mean, trying to move it around, but, you know, Corey Bubar for being up at the lead for a little bit and is now back in the back and in the mix. This is the danger zone for me of these short tracks, because as we've seen, these first few wrecks that we've had have been caused by checkups of a car ahead and the cars behind not having time to react. So these guys have to drive with their head on a swivel and keep it going. Dominic Currit here, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but is doing well to just stick right on the back end of that 42, is looking for Victoria's Secret, and if he gets too close, he might find it if he sends that 42 around.
Yeah, definitely will find a different type of secret, and it ain't going to be Victoria's, I can tell you that one. It will be the hands on the race control. It will be the wooden hammer that's going to come down. You, sir, are out. So let's see what happens here as well. Make sure this doesn't happen and make sure all of these drivers can survive at this race, because we don't want anybody being dropped out early as we go on to the batter. Matt Mingo has run a little bit wide. That's going to allow Jake to come through. Jake McKee is looking at coming through there as well. They're battling around as they're going into one at the moment. 5-degree banking now as well. Slight little tilt. You can just see it. One of the smoother bankings that we visited this season across multiple NASCARs, and I can tell you what, no. Nope, and nope. Oh.
Another checkup.
Do you know the problem I'm seeing here with the checkups is not the fact that they're checking up, is the fact that they're trying to check up, and that's Justin Galloway who's just gone off. The problem is they're checking up to keep hold of the inside line. And the problem with keeping hold of the inside line is you're causing everybody else a little bit of a drama behind you. As you can see it there. And then a couple of other cars, unfortunately, involved in it as well. That was Justin Gallo, Cam Richards, and I believe that may have been our man trying to get to the front here. Was this Corey Bubar, who also was caught up in the incident in that 12 car? You can see it start happening, unfortunately, there for him, and there it all is. And here he comes, and does get a little bit caught up in it there, Brad, as well. They're checking up, which is great, and I understand that, but they're trying to check up to pull the front of the car round and to take the front, which then ends them up being strung out there a little bit, doesn't it? Because you're checking up to pull the front end round to keep that inside line. The problem is the people behind have not got that inside line to keep hold of.
Well, and the thing I wonder, and somebody can correct me in the YouTube comments, I'm more than happy to be corrected. I've got to wonder, is it worth it for those guys to be checking up that hard to the point where it kind of serpentines back? Or is it just a case of it's one guy lifting a little and it kind of causes that accordion effect back that we're seeing? It's been a long time since I've raced this track, so I can't think in my head of how these guys are handling it that's kind of causing that.
Yeah. I think it's just maybe just trying to keep the inside line. If they're looking at the fact that the inside line is a hell of a lot stronger than the outside, which it is, and we've seen that, then it would be easier for them to try and keep it. Can they bump at all on this track? I wouldn't. It's a constant left turn. If you're going to bump, you're going to spin somebody around there. So, yeah, definitely don't. They need to communicate. I do fully agree with you, Slicks, as well. They do. There is a guy there with a flag, yes, and we are up and running. It's called Barney, and he's waving frantically, the strongest right arm in racing. He's in every street race, every oval race, dirt race, WRX race, and any other race that you can think of. here within iRacing, and Barney is out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he's got muscles that are bigger than Hulk Hogan's 40-inch pythons, brother.
That is the best description of Barney I've ever heard.
Thanks,
I genuinely love that. We're back running, James, and I think at this point the guys just need to, the drivers need to just reel it in a little bit and just kind of settle down. I've been trying to keep my eyes on what race control's calling out with incidents and different things as well, watch live timings, kind of get a real feel for where these guys are at. We're 40 laps of 250 in, and I think at this point, all these guys know that they just need to breathe. They need to reel it back. They need to make it through. But again, we're going to start seeing that accordion effect. Somebody's going to get a little break. You've got 31 drivers on track that really want to win this race. And it's one thing for me to say for these drivers to relax. It's another thing for them to actually do it. And I'll tell you right now, I can wish for it all day. It's not going to happen.
No. But the problem is as well, they've got to think of the bigger picture, right? We're only 42 in. We've not even hit the 100 mark. We've not even hit the 50 mark. If you picked off 1 place per lap, you'll be up the front in 30 laps. So you know that you could double that up and say, okay, I get 1 place every 2 laps. Within 120 laps, I should be near the front. Or 240, I can get 1 place every 4 laps. You know, they've got to logically think about how they're making the moves. They can't be rushing. They can't be sticking the nose up there. You know, it ain't like being at a garden centre where you can sniff every rose possible. You can't do that here. You'll turn into a dog if you go around sniffing all the butts on the back end of this one. You're not allowed to do that. You've got to make sure that you're doing it sensibly. And at the end of the day, they've got time, Brad. I don't quite get it. They've got time. Let's make it clean. They've settled in. Now let's get the laps off. You're at that point where you have to start getting the laps off this lap counter. Otherwise, we could be here till the morning.
Yeah, and I feel like that would be a bad time for you, James, considering that I know your time zone and I know what time it is for you right now. I don't think you want to be here all night. I don't think the drivers want to be here all night. But I'm kind of watching, and as I watch, especially if we check out the number 26 here with the number 23 right behind, this track is pretty challenging to pass on as we have another caution thrown here. And curious what happened to cause this one.
Caution number 6 on lap 46 here. Just trying to see what actually went on. Was it Landry? No, there was somebody gone round, but where was it? That's going to be the problem. Because there was a lot of cars on this circuit. I'm wondering if it could involve Logan Melcher in that 41. It does involve Logan Melcher in the 41. And in the inside, goes in too deep, carries too much speed, and unfortunately for everybody else, he almost ends up doing a jump. But I don't get why we would need a yellow for that, considering he's on the inside and he's out the way.
I don't know either. The only thing I can think of is iRacing auto-calling that yellow, because the iRacing service tends to be very, very conservative on the yellow flag calls. As soon as a car is more than about 90 degrees out of line, it will automatically throw a yellow regardless of if it's high on the track, low on the track, not on the track. If iRacing service determines that it's not facing the way it thinks it should, it'll throw a yellow and go ahead and bunch up the pack. So I wish iRacing would work on that a little bit, but I know it's a balancing thing that they have to figure out.
Yeah, absolutely. Lights are on as well. Little TJ there. It's also such a hard track to pass on. Most short tracks are, but where it's almost a circle, it's pretty dang tough. I do fully agree with you. And Michelangelo, I love that name. I grew up at this track and raced at this track. You can bump, but nicely. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would not be bumping after my experience in NASCAR's bumping into a corner, which this constantly is. I would not be chancing that as well. I love that 13 car livery. Who is that? Number 13, that is Scott Tapley, if you're talking about that one. Or are you talking about my green one, which is Adam Jocelyn? Be careful what you say, TJ. Nick, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us there, buddy, as well, as we're here for the Maine sim racing season. Final round, 250 laps, live from Oxford Plains. I am James Parfitt, the Englishman on a NASCAR. He's Bradley Dalton. I've got American alongside me. Don't you worry. David Landry is going into turn one, and he's taking it again and again. We're running single file. I think, to be honest, Brad, we're going to see single file restarts for quite a while until we start settling down here.
Yeah, I have a feeling race control is not going to make a different decision through, and I kind of agree with it, honestly. If the double file is cautions breeding cautions, throw it in single file and see how they do, and then if they can't do it at that point, you might have to start them one at a time out of the pit lane. I don't know what you go to from there.
I don't really know what you would go to out of a single file restart, to be honest, apart from, go out. I don't really know, Brad. To be honest, if I'm thinking of anything, I'm probably fishing harder than the carp fisherman on a Sunday morning, to be honest. Because, to be honest, I have no idea. Right, on the nose of Adam Jocelyn in that 83 machine. Dominic Curry in front of us there as well. We've got Matt Mingo tucked up right behind our gearbox. Currently, there he is there as well in the number 012. So Mingo settled in once again, and now we're going to have all of the pack start moving through. We've got to start getting these laps off. The problem is the pack are almost making a complete circle. Logan Melcher is there. He's going into three, while Landry is coming out of one. There's not a lot of gap between them at the moment here, Brad. Who's going to be able to take this one? Who are the back markers going to be able to not get lapped? And how are the lapping cars going to get through? Because as we know, no blue flags in NASCAR. So how are they going to manage it?
You know, James, I thought I'd get through one broadcast without blue flags being a topic of conversation. But, it's really going to be a case of the leader gets up to the back and he's got to pass. And as we see, this track is challenging to make a pass on. So I'm going to tell you right now, when Landry gets up to the mix here of the tail end of the field, it's going to start getting very interesting. But, of course, you don't want to be the back marker that wrecks the leader. And you don't want that conversation after. You don't want to get in trouble. If you're Scott Tapley, though, you're in the middle. You do need to start thinking about moving your way forward. You need to start thinking about how can I slowly pick off cars and get towards the front. And even though he's not in a bad position, he needs to. Tyler Jalbert here in that 42 is also under some pressure. There's a little bit of a bump there, and around the outside is gonna. Can Childs hold on to it here? Can Jalbert get up the inside? I don't know.
Childs seems to carry a lot of speed around the outside, and he seems to be able to make the outside line work. They're coming out of two now, going across the back end of the back stretch, now going into three, and every single lap there's a bit more of Child's car in front. You can see him going into the corner. As he goes into the corner, we were on the front suspension. Now we're on the front doorway. Now he's going to go into turn three. How much is he going to get? Well, now we're on the real arch. You see, it's bit by bit, Brad. It's not instant. He's putting a little bit of gap, a little bit of car, little bit of gap, little bit of car, and probably by the next lap or so, that whole car will be in front as they're coming into the corner. He's almost there. We're rear to wheel at the moment, so it ain't going to be long, I don't think, until Charles can make it round the outside, especially when he's carrying so much speed coming out of turn two.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is we have another caution. He was carrying speed, and the thing I was going to point out was you've got those marbles on the high line, and if he gets a little too high, he can undo all of that work he had. Where did this caution come from, James?
Ed Connolly, I believe, is one involved in this one. There it all is. And that's Tyler Connolly, and then we've got the 111 in front as well. So, unfortunately, it looks like it started with the guys up front. Haggart was involved in that one on lap 60. And it's looking like it got a little bit scrappy further up there. So Ed Connolly, I believe, is into the pits at the moment in that 111 machine. He got loose. He got a push from the 54 in the corner that looked, now I'm going to say this lightly, it looked like there was contact. Let me go on board the chopper first before everybody starts screaming at me. And I will see if that is what the case will be. And if that is the case, I have got Haggart's name twice on my bit of paper. In the 54, yes. There we go.
Yeah.
Contact going into the corner.
No denying that contact either. That was right there, plain as day. Man, and that's one of those, one little bump can cause something massive. And, in YouTube chat, I'm just looking, Slick's made a point that the track is sketchy. The smart play is a little bit of time. It's hard to gauge things, and everyone is really eager. So it's very interesting because it is also very hard for me personally to gauge who's the favorite right now. Of course, we have that number 40 up front, but it is very hard to gauge who is going to be in the position to have the win and who is going to be. It's just too early to call it.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Billy Cooper, TJ's mum. Welcome in, Billy. Thank you so much for joining us there as well. Much love to you. You're watching the Maine Sim Racing Series final round, 250 laps of Oxford. We are 62 in at the moment. We are 7 cautions deep here. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. We're just 7 cautions deep, really, aren't we, Brad? There's not a lot else we can say about that.
I mean, 7 cautions deep, but there's been lots of action, lots of mix-ups through the field. Of course, that number 12 was leading for a little bit and now has dropped back and is trying to find his way back forward. We've got the pace car in, and the number 40 and Devin Landry back underway again. Cam Child's right on the rear end there, and Tyler Jalbert, who is going to be trying to find a way to fight forward here, and it is going to continue to tick laps down. Single file restarts yet again.
We didn't even go anywhere.
We
didn't even go anywhere.
Uh,
Got to be down the field. Got to be. It's the 111, is it?
Yeah, but I thought the 111 was coming out of the pits. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but did he lose it coming out the pits?
Possibly.
Yes. He's over the line.
He came on the track.
Oh, bro.
Oh, man.
I'm going to presume that's what it was, because I can't see anybody else causing a problem. And unfortunately, on lap 61, Ed Connolly, looked like he could have been the main cause of that after coming out the pit lane and then piping his nose onto the circuit. And unfortunately, we picked up and gone, no, dear sir. That is another caution. So there we go. Not cool. No. TJ, unlikely. I don't know, TJ. Let's have a look at what everybody else has got picked up at the moment. The yellow was thrown. This is an incident that this is telling me. Landry nowhere near. It can only be Ed Connolly coming out of the pit lane that has caused that drama. That's the only physical thing I can see here as well. So, yeah, not an ideal evening for some as we're, 63 of 250, Brad. I think I'm going to have to nestle in for food and water.
Yeah, I was going to say I would recommend you getting set up because this is going to be a good long one, but I like it. I like short track racing. I really, really enjoy it. And the one good thing is when we get going, the laps move quick, which does make things go fairly fast for us here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do fully agree with you, but we've got to get green going, haven't we, really? The pace car looks like it's going to come in again once more, back to that single file line. Pace car should dip off coming out the entry into 3. It just goes off now. It takes that weird left turn that they all do. And now we're back up and running a wheel. Devin Landry is up and running. Cam Child sitting right behind him there once more. People have got to be careful. Bordering on the line of 2 cautions here as well. Mind you, we've had 8 and we're only on 61. So they've got to be a little bit more careful. Otherwise, this could just go completely Pete Tong and it will all end up being in people getting DQ. 2 causes of a yellow. Good night, Vienna. Sleep tight. Grab your pillow. Settle down because you're going to be on the sofa watching the rest of it. So they've got to be careful here, Brad, as well.
Yeah, and it looks like several... and right as I was getting ready to say that it looks like several people have caused 1, but nobody's caused 2 yet, from what I can tell. We have another spin there. these guys are getting real eager. They want to keep it moving, but man, they have got to settle back a little bit there. Cam Childs coming around.
Yeah, I think that was the 42 on the inside. That was Tyler Jalbert here, and I've got a funny feeling we'll go backwards. I don't like going backwards, but sometimes backwards is the easiest way to go. And do you know the worst thing about this is we can physically see what is going to happen, can't we? Right at this moment in time, that nose is joining that back end. And unfortunately, it's caused caution number 9 on lap 65. There we go. We're going in. We're going in. We are literally in. And around we go. And I feel like I've just had a colonoscopy all at the same time.
I was going to say, it feels like we got a little closer for everything. Now, I will say...
Close? I saw his gearbox.
Yeah, that was a little too personal. Yeah. A little too personal there.
If I was watching Disney Cars about now, I'd be calling I've been violated. So, you know what I mean? I've seen Lightning McQueen. I know what goes on in that movie. How else do they get baby cars? Answers on a postcode.
You're not wrong.
No, you're not. Answers on a postcard or in YouTube chat if you can figure out how in Disney cars there becomes lightning babies.
I'm scared to see what YouTube chat comes up with, but you know what?
Tell me the answer.
On YouTube chat.
Tell me the answer.
I don't want to think about the answer because
you can't tell me the answer.
Out when I was younger.
You can't handle the answer. Sorry, I went a bit Few Good Men on you then as well. That was a little bit dodgy.
That's also a good movie.
It is a good movie, actually. I love Few Good Men. Tom Cruise. Oh, Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder. Getting to play with the legs of Nicole Kidman. What more could you ask for?
Well, James, changing the storyline for a second, I will tell you.
Yeah, if you are new to the JPB YouTube channel, welcome in. This is what you kind of get, especially from a tired Englishman at 2 o'clock in the morning who is sitting there commentating on these cars going round and round in a big old circle, and we're 9 cautions in at the moment. We're back running once more. Landry gets on his bike again in the number 40. He runs away like a scolded cat. He is trying to get on the bike. Curate right behind. Jocelyn behind that. Mingo behind that. McKee tucked up right behind that one as well. Round into one. Over the line we go. Everybody, by what I can gather there, Brad, is single file, and they're all keeping single file as well. I'm trying to look back through the back end of the field. I'm not quite sure why I'm trying to look downwards, considering I've only got a limited view on my monitor.
Yeah, the drivers are, I think they're being given a little bit of a slap on the wrist in their ears from race control. I've been looking and seeing, and of course, no surprise to anyone, that last incident, Tyler Jalbert was sent end of the line. He was given full responsibility for that incident by race control, and it's hard to argue it. But as we go through, Tristan Shea here, who is just trying to settle in. Again, these guys are all just wanting to get these laps knocked out as fast as they can. They want to get through this, get closer to the end, and then if you ding up your car a little bit, it's not the end of the world. If you're dinging up your car in the first 30 laps, you're making a bad decision here. And of course, you're an Englishman. I am in the southeastern U.S., and you and me both know in short track racing, it's all about just consistency, ticking down the laps and making it.
Yeah, you've got to get them off. You can't keep running like this. You know, it'll be morning for me if we keep going like this before we can get these off. Obviously, yellow flag. Yeah, yellow caution laps don't count. So we're back on lap 72 again. And we've got to think of the thing here as well. Just get the laps off. Where are you going to be on the circuit if you stuck your nose up the rear end of somebody? You've caused an incident. You've done it twice. Where are you going to be, Brad?
You're going in the pit lane, and you're going to have race control to answer to. And, of course, you have no run in for the winnings, for anything, because you get to kind of have a very, very bad day. And I don't recommend any of these guys end up there, but, you know, it's one thing for me to say it, sitting here commentating this race in these 250 laps. It's going to be another thing for these guys to do that. And some of these guys are going to have an easier time than others. Some of them get a little more antsy than others and go up the inside. Some of them will relax.
Yeah, Haggart's just been pushed out there. He left the door open, and Cookson said, "Thank you very much. Not only am I going to steal your position, but I can guarantee if you leave that door open one more time, dear sir, I'm going to come in and steal your TV and your sofa all at the same time." He's going to... No, come on. Wondering if that was helped. Or was it all on his own for Mr. Connolly? Because at the moment, that's what's showing. He was helped. Helped by the 00 machine, unfortunately, there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a... Ouch. And then that gets PJ Merrill his end of line penalty here. So he's given responsibility by race control. And that is going to be one of his 2 here for causing a caution.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, there as well. My timing software flickers around like an absolute trooper. It settles down once we get going, but it does have a little bit of a moment here. So, in response to that, Brad, I hope you picked up from where I'm in the same boat as you are.
Yeah, it's we'll blame it on day 1 iRacing updates. Of course, iRacing releasing rain, which we're not going to see here today. I don't know if we'll see it here in the near future in any leagues. I think a lot of them are going to hold off a little bit.
Not in NASCAR. You can't put rain. If you had dirt, midget dirt or WRX dirt or something like that, then yeah, crack on. Sticking it on cars that go 190 miles an hour around Dega and around Daytona plus 200 at some, you can't put it there. That would just be absolute carnage and it would just be awful. So please don't put it there as well, iRacing, because we really don't want that, as we're on caution number 10 and we're only on lap 77.
Yeah, it's going to be one that I think you're going to need some coffee for, James. But it's good racing. That's the thing. These guys are putting on a show for being lap 76, 77 of 250. I mean, the guys are putting on a good show. They're showing some skill. They're showing, a lot of racecraft, a lot of knowledge. We've seen some good battles, and it's just those small little mistakes here and there that they just shows that little blink that causes the issues.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Green. Where are we? Green. Adam Jocelyn in the second place. Mingo third. And we've got Dominic Curate in first place at the moment. Curate's been involved. He's one of the bits of names I've got written down on my piece of paper. With Adam Jocelyn there in the green machine. Matt Mingo, McKee, Ricker there as well, who works at this circuit in real life. There, there's Jason Ricker and Calvin Rose right behind him, not to mistake him for Calvin Ross, who is another gentleman in a series I know that TJ knows so well there once again. So let's get this going. Come on, boys, let's at least get to 150, 180. I'll have faith.
Yeah, I think they can do it here at this point. And again, I think race control has probably been in their ear at least once or twice and said, hey guys, let's make this race happen. Let's not every 5 laps have to pace around for 5 laps, please. But again, it's one thing to tell a racing driver that, and it's another for the race car driver to actually do it. These guys are going to be really wanting to make things happen and really wanting to move forward. So it's just a case of everybody holding on and making it through. I think they're doing a fairly good job, though, as we continue to go around the track here.
Yeah, absolutely they are as well. Slicks, thank you so much for that $1.99 donation in YouTube chat there as well. That will go towards the Big Dreams Little Voices supporting charity of the Rainbow Trust. All money that comes in from that section at the bottom now, I don't really know what to call it. All money will go to the Rainbow Trust, our charity that we support here with JPB, where we have kids up in the commentary booth. And if you haven't seen them, oh, well, go and watch them, because as I slowly learnt, my daughter has got no filter whatsoever. Oh. My daughter's
Your
philosophy.
daughter doesn't have a filter.
No, philosophy of a 6-year-old. How do you get past a car? Says Craig Jones, who was with me alongside there as well. Her answer was bump them off the side of the circuit. So there we go.
I mean, Rubbin's racing. We are in stock cars, so Rubbin is racing.
Yeah, she weren't talking about Rubbin, bro. She was talking about physically bumping him off the second. So there we go.
I was trying to give her an out. I was trying to give her a break, you know.
No, I won't bother. She literally said it live on air. So there we go. I'm trying to find where that was and who caused that, and I cannot find anybody that just caused that yellow flag. So bear with me for 2 seconds while I try and figure out. Wow, Ed Connolly. Dude.
Oh.
Keep an eye on the penalties there, Brad, because that is Mr. Connolly's second one by what I can figure out here. But the question is, was it all on his own, or was he helped again and assisted round in the 1-1-1 machine? And it looks like the number 45 gave Mr. Connolly a little bit of a bump. And again, I'm going to have to go back here because we can't quite get to the point of where there is contact. And it looks like the 45 machine, as the numbers go flickering up on my timing screen quite rapidly here, Brad. So if you could point out who that was, that would be ideal.
Yeah, the number 45 there. We'll figure this out together. That number 45. I've got to find it on the timing screen myself here. Oh, wow. Let's see.
We will work that one out for you there as well, guys. Just bear with us as we get everybody back filtered in again. Oh, Slicks 199. Let's celebrate our third super on a live stream there. Thank you, Slicks, again for your 199. You're doing amazing. So there we go. A miniature version of James without a filter could probably work up a hurricane. Well, yes, she can, and she's female. Don't forget, TJ. Yeah, nothing. No filter. But if you joined some of the kids there as well, I learned a lot about Craig Jones from his young son, who told me that Daddy speeds with him in the back. But don't tell anyone, he said to me live on the broadcast there as well. So if you haven't checked out the Big Blooms Little Voices, go and check it out. It's an endurance event that we do here in support of the Rainbow Trust, and all money that comes in through the pay button at the bottom does get directly donated to them. So far, we've raised nearly £6,300 for this year alone, and there's big things coming from the Rainbow Trust. But let's get this back up and running. Curate, Jocelyn, Mingo. Jocelyn, you've got to get in, son. You have got to get in, because the outside line at the moment, it does not, as the track's evolved, the inside line seems to be the fastest one. He's got to run around the outside if he can. He's losing space. You can't even get in behind Mingo, because there's the number 9 car of Ricker. Then there's McKee on there as well. And unfortunately for Jocelyn, dude, you are strung out quite badly there as well, Brad.
Yeah, Race Control decided to call a double foul restart, which I have to say, I love y'all for it. Thank you. But it does produce some good and scary side-by-side action here as we keep things going. It is that number 83 on the outside, Matt Mingo on the inside, Jocelyn to the outside. It's now Jocelyn ahead, but again, just because you get ahead on that outside line doesn't mean you're in the clear. He needs to try to slot down in that line. They're trying to get things back single file as they can, but some of these people really, really like the outside line. These drivers, everyone seems to have their preference. Some drivers want the inside, some want the outside. And for the drivers that can make the outside work, they're making it work well.
Oh, he's nearly there. Look, he's nearly there. He's nearly there. You've got it, you've got it, you've got it. Put in, put in, put in. Oh, he didn't. Unfortunately, he's gone up the circuit there as well. Now slot your nose in. Go on, son, stick
Clear
it in
inside,
there.
clear inside.
Yeah.
I know the spotter's calling it.
Come on. Oh, he hasn't. Look at the gap. He looks different compared to the camera that we had there. He hasn't got the gap. Don't stick it up there. Don't stick it up there as well, says Adam Jocelyn as he goes there as well. Bye, love you. Enjoy the rest of your work night. Oh, that's Billy. Good night, Billy. Night, darling. Have a good one. I'll see you on Tuesday, hopefully. As well, Billy Cooper, TJ's mum. Love you too, Billy. Much appreciated. Here, as we're 3 wide further back as well. I believe that's kicking off. Billings on the 23, then the 54 of Haggart is in there. Oh, Brad, we're going 3 wide. Brad, we're seeing 3 lines.
3 wide makes me nervous all the time, but in a short track like this, 3 wide is not fun. And also, you've got the battle for the lead on top of that. Oh, and there's the spin off in the grass. I didn't know.
Oh, they're still green. We're still green.
Oh, we're still green. What?
Oh,
there it is.
There it is.
You had the 82 and the 83 battling up front too, James. I don't know if you missed that, but your green car was... Oh, no, he did get the lead. Looky there, Jocelyn in the lead.
Yeah, he must have got him just before the yellow came out there, because he was very, very close at the moment that went on. Oh, the yellow was already called. The yellow was already called there, Brad. You can see he was checking up on the outside. I've got to get the software a minute there as well, so bear with us. We'll try and pick up on young Mr. Noah Haggart, who was unfortunately involved in that little bit of a ta-ta-ta that went on. And there was quite a few... Oh, where's his name gone now? As the timing software goes absolutely mental once more. Nope, it happened already before that. That Barker off the side of the circuit, it was. Let's try and pick up on Barker. Oh, he's already gone. Right, we're going to have to go back again here, guys. I do apologise for this one. Don't forget, if you are here for the very first time, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, because we've got a lot more racing coming up for you. Haggart sticks his nose up, comes across the 03, who then comes in, and unfortunately, no, that was Barker, unfortunately. Haggart, Barker off the side of the circuit. Once again, caution number 12 on lap 93. And Haggart, Barker, and I believe that may have been Billings, who may also be out there all at the same time. It was Billings as he nestled in once again here, Brad. Question. Will Jocelyn have to return that position due to the fact that it was a caution that he did do the overtaking on?
It looks like he did the job for himself. It looks like he went in and out of the pits there, so I believe that the decision was made for him in the pit lane. And also, looking here, Noah Haggart given end-of-line penalties, so Noah Haggart being assigned responsibility by race control there. But yeah, it looks like, as far as I can tell, number 83 giving the position back and having to settle back in here. We'll see where they go, and now her double foul restarts here yet again. The 8 and the 58 lining up in the front. That's Calvin Rose and David Greenleaf that are going to be taking our front row here as the pace car comes in, and we're back underway one more time.
Yeah, do you know what I would do right about now if I was the 58 at Greenleaf? Let him go, because there's a big old gap behind it. You could just slot straight into, sir. You can slot straight into Calvin Rose. Has made gains. He's up 13 places, sitting in the lead at the moment. Through one, over the line they go now. Into one again, and it's Rose, it's Greenleaf, and it's Cookson. That's your 1, 2, 3. Then you've got Ryan Mulberry behind. Tristan Shear behind that as well, as these guys are battling out on lap 96. We've got somebody going 3 wide further back as well. We don't want to be doing that. Who is that? That's Cam Child, who's trying to take it 3 wide. He's on the marbles. He's on the marbles. The 45 is on the marbles. Is he going to be able to protect him? We're going to be going 4 wide. We're not. The 45 cannot hold on to that. He cannot hold on to that. Surely he's out on that marbles and is losing time like an absolute troop. And he is off. He is off.
He's gone.
Yeah, Michael Davis in that machine, unfortunately, went off the side of the circuit. Don't park it, don't park it, keep it on the line, keep it on the line. As Rose comes round once more, is still in front of Greenleaf, and we've still got a 2 wide battle of Moderate, Landry and Shear, who are now...
I think that was called because of the 45 there. I think he was on the inside line.
No, there was already going off. You see it? The 23 machine.
Yep.
And the 23 machine there was Billings. It looked like on that one. There's a couple of people who have also jumped back to the pits. So give us 2 minutes. We'll try and show you what actually happened there. As Corey Billings comes round. The 23 has already gone.
I think he was helped around by the 12 there, who I think was helped around by whoever that was with him.
So, further up the order, this flickering is doing my bananas in here, Brad. I'm not going to lie. Oh, the 12, the 23. The 12, isn't that Booba?
It is. It is the bar.
Yeah, Booba coming back through as well for caution number 13 on lap 99. And that's Booba in that one with the 23 machine. Unfortunately, there as well. That's Nathan Barth. So, yeah, not an ideal scenario here as well. Now we're going to pick up on the leader as best as we possibly can because everybody's going into the pits. And it should, if I'm not mistaken, still be Calvin Rhodes.
Yeah, Calvin Rose is in a good spot right now and needs to just ride this out as long as possible. Just kind of settle in, keep your race running, and just hang out. We're double file restarting again, I believe. So we'll see how this happens, and we'll see what these drivers do, what they come up with, where the things are. And the number 9 jumps out into the pace car. Oh, I need iRacing to make that pace car physical. I want to see a driver hit that pace car and just drop like a rock.
As the great words of Days of Thunder said, go out and hit the pace car. Why am I hitting the pace car? Because you've hit everything else this afternoon. You might as well go and make that and get a full list. So there we go. I do love the fact that Michelle has put usually a nice little lake out that way. Just needed a cool off. So there we go. Awesome stuff. I would love some static counts for these shots. Love watching the whole line coming through. Mate, I would do, but them cameras are not available, unfortunately, on this circuit. So we do have to have this shot here. I don't think we've got any form of static shots that we can put on. Green flag, Rose again alongside Cookson once more. 101. Oh, come on. We didn't even go half a lap.
Big checkup.
Oh.
That's got the whole field in it, James. I mean, at least we're lap 101 now, but man, that's got the whole field in it.
That was Cookson.
100%.
100%. You think? Unfortunately, it looks like Cookson got a hold of that one. If you could see what's going on our timing tower, guys, you would appreciate why this is so hard to find the people involved at the moment, because there is a lot of things happening within the timing tower, and it's not always easy. But this is where it starts. Rose runs out wide, so unless Cookson thinks, right, I've got this opportunity now, and then he goes to stick his nose up. Oh, no.
I think this was the last caution.
Let's have a look and see if we can get it back enough. I think we've gone too far now. Let's go back to that one. Where do we get to? 101. There's the green. There's the yellow. Yeah, Cookson up the front there, look. And then the rest of the field just comes in. Unfortunately, Jocelyn takes avoiding action and it ends up going off the side. Look at that. Jocelyn just says, nope, I don't want to be involved in that one. As he goes to the right-hand side and avoids all the mess there as well. James Record looks like a rebel race. I don't know, 14 cautions. What do you think, young man?
14 cautions were 100-something laps in. It's been fun. But, man, you got to feel for the number 8 there. I mean, he did nothing wrong, but it was just send him around there. And, yeah, he's just now coming out of the pits. And we're setting up, getting ready for the race.
Yeah, here we go once more. The pace car looks like it's going to be peeling off here as well. The guys calling the race are doing a good job. Thank you so much for that one, James, as well. Right. Come on, boys. Come on. I said 180. We didn't even get there. Lap 101. Green. Jalbert gets the second. Landry gets the whole shot. Jocelyn's back on that outside line once more. 2 wide, and then we've got about 2 deep further back. That's Jocelyn running alongside the 37 of Cam Richards. Behind that one, once more, is McLaughlin and Jake McKee, as they're also running 2 deep, 2 wide here as well. Slot in Slot in, Matt Mingo. Good job. Take the inside line as Mingo does manage to get a gap. He does find a gap, and he puts that car in the gap. But at the moment, Landry out in front. He took the whole shot after the restart. Brad has done a great job so far.
Yeah, he did very, very good to get going. A little bit of bump in there between the 00 and the 10. And I will tell you, Max Cookson parked. He is out of this race after that second incident there. So as it goes, we are settling in. 31 cars started, and as far as I know, there's still 30 cars on the track battling things out here.
No, 29, Brad. 29, and almost, I think, 28. It looks like Billings has gone into the pits now. Now we've got Landry, Jalbert, Smith, Charles, Richard, and McLaughlin. Your top 6 here. Jocelyn there in that 83 machine. I do love the fact that I can recognize you so easily. You are my hero right about now, and unfortunately if you take out that 00 of PJ, you're not going to be my hero much longer. So be careful on that one. Don't stick your nose up. You're not quite clear. He's got his rear quarter in your rear arch. You've got to find a little more gap here. You've got to find a little bit more gap. PJ's not able to find the gap, Brad. He couldn't do what everybody else has done round that outside line and get little by little by little by little by little by little, and unfortunately he didn't get little enough because now PJ's on the outside.
Yeah, PJ there in the 00. I don't think the outside line is his preferred line, and I think we're going to start seeing him slowly slip back there. The 83's through, and now Mingo coming up the inside, and now the 12 is through, and then you've got the regular number 12 of Bubar right behind as well. So we're going to start seeing Mr. Merrill there. PJ drop behind more and more as this goes. He needs to stick there. The number 23 up the inside, trying to stay out of the way. That's Cody Billings, who just wants to stay out of the way, not cause any issues for any of the field.
Just run on. Yeah.
Problems.
Just keep going round. 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 Good boy. Well done there as well. If anybody wants to know how to do that coming out of here, that's how you do it. That's Calvin Rose, your one-time leader, is now going to get lapped by Landry. Child, and Dominic Curett.
I saw Smith spin there, and I thought that was going to be it. Cleason Smith in the number 8, who was in P6, and I don't know what happened behind him there that took him around.
If that is Curett, right, which I think it might be, that... Oh, there was also a checkup behind, I believe, that literally left him. What's the 23? Oh, no, it was all on his own. I've got that down as 2 for him, but maybe I might be wrong, as Curett goes into the 7, and the 1 of Childs was also involved in that one, as Barney there waving frantically once more. With, yeah.
I haven't seen anything handed down from race control yet, so we'll see. Because, again, you had that number 8 of Smith that spun there earlier, so I have to wonder if they may just chalk that one up and say, you know what, you were checking up because there was another car through, and we'll let it go.
Maybe, but Landry's still out in front here as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time ever, like, subscribe, and turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing, because there's a lot more racing coming up on the JPB YouTube channel. A heck of a lot over this weekend, and if you've got anything to do there. How many cars were on the starting grid versus now? So we did have 30, I believe we have 31. We've now got 27 that are running. Tristan Shear is the last one before we get into Conover and Billings. But at the moment, our timing tower is having a little bit of a mental breakdown. So let's get this back up and running, and I'll give you exact figures here. 97, passing under the pace car. Could be open to a question. So there we go, on lap 114. Everyone seems to be finding the groove, says Slick. Right at the moment, the yellow flag was called for caution number 15. So, yeah, cheers, Slick.
Forget the commentators curse. We're going to call it the YouTube curse.
Yeah.
Cam Childs given an end-of-line penalty, I'm going to guess. Cam Childs being given responsibility for that last incident in that 0-1.
The trouble is, you know that end of line is probably harsher than most other penalties, considering how long this line is.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Charles has got to make his way up past them all. There we go.
Yeah,
Landry, Jalbert, Smith, Richards, McLaughlin and Jocelyn going at it again. We know that outside line is looking a little bit scary at the moment due to the fact that there is a wicked line of marbles on that outside. We'll jump into the cockpit and have a look and see if we can pick it up here. As Jocelyn there, you can start seeing that marble line coming in on the left-hand side there, bro. If it keeps coming in and keeps coming in, this is going to be a one-line race, and they've got to be taking that line early, because otherwise, if they don't, they're going to be on their marbles, and their marbles are closing in quick on that outside. You can see it coming from the top part of the circuit at the moment, running into the bottom part. They're coming in quite quick. It's getting very, very shallow with their marbles, and they're going to have to start getting a little bit even more careful than they were before.
Yeah, as this track has evolved, it's kind of surprising me just how narrow the racing line is becoming. Lap 117 to 250, and I'd say in another 50 laps or so, we will be down to that 1.5 lane sort of setup where these cars are going to have to be door to door if they want to run too wide, and it's going to make passing real difficult very, very quickly. And of course, the other thing to look at is we're coming up on sunset.
Oh, it's coming in.
So
sorry.
Smith, you are good, James.
Smith was coming down there. They were 3 wide further back. Jocelyn's in the middle. 3 wide in the middle. The spotters going mental. That's right about now as well. Behind that, we got McKee in the mix. He's in that number 10 machine. And we got the 23 in there as well. And now they've settled back down to 2 wide, which makes me very, very happy. However, these guys further back, whoever that is out on that outside line there, watch their marbles there, sir, because your back end nearly decided to come and join your front. And that only would have left you into one place, an audition for Swan Lake, and doing lots of ballerina pirouettes all at the same time. But Landry leading the way with Jalbert right up behind him.
Yeah, Justin Guy running very, very wide there in the back. And I mean, how he's keeping it together when his car is that far on the marbles, I will never know. But looking up at the front, Devin Landry, you have your hands full, my friend. I'm not saying because of the racing line, I'm not saying because of the cars, but it's because you have a Mr. Tyler Jalbert in the number 42 right behind you, who is very, very hungry for the lead here. Lap 123 at 250, and we can say things are settling down, James, but they're truly not as these cars continue to push each other around. And again, 15-second laps, they go through very, very quick. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching here live on YouTube, keep your eyes glued to the screen, because there's more action here than a Marvel movie.
Yeah, we've got McKee out the outside at the moment. He's running alongside the 41 of Logan Melcher there as well. Melcher's livery does remind me of the Gravedigger kind of effect. He just needs to whack a skull on the front there, and it will be a Gravedigger livery. Once more, Jocelyn's getting a little bit loose up front. He got a little bit twirly, whirly, and unfortunately, he's going to have to be a little bit careful as the Haverly machine of McKay starts making his way around the outside. He's got a little bit of pace on him here as well. Nathan Barth is going alongside at the moment. There's Nathan in that 23 machine, and McKee trying to make it through. He's got Melcher coming back up again. Is he going to be able to carry it through? His Melcher can't go anywhere.
Oh!
That's the field. That is the field.
Man, it's like we're playing bumper cars some days. These guys they're having a couple of moments. Ooh, that was I didn't see that one coming out of nowhere. And again, it goes to show the reaction time these race car drivers have when they're driving through. You blink. If you just blink, you could miss something out. And already Nathan Barth given an end-of-line penalty there by race control. So I'm going to imagine Nathan Barth is the one that we need to be looking for.
I'm looking. There was a lot going on there. Bear with. Here as well. So on lap 127. Yellow flag come out there. So see again, you can see Jocelyn there and Barth. Barth did turn Jocelyn, and then away he went. So Barth there, unfortunately, turned him, and there we go on that one. Benji, stop talking about the yellows. Talk about the racing. Cam Richards is the Mad Bomber 2020. 2022 track champion at Oxford. Now, Benji, let me just say something to you, sir. I'll be polite as I can here. This is our first time covering this series. We got drafted in about literally 2 hours ago, dear sir. We've not had a lot of chance to do the background checks on some of these drivers, so thank you very much for the information. It's much appreciated here as well. We do bring you as much of the action as we can possibly grab hold of at the same time. As you can imagine, it's a little bit more difficult with 29 cars on there. It's a little bit harder, but we don't have much background information on these drivers, so thank you so much there, Benji. If you can provide us more, that would be absolutely amazing. As I say, up until about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, we didn't really know we were going to be here, so we have jumped in at the very last minute. So thank you so much, Benji, for your constructive words there, and we will work on it going forward as well. But it is also the final race of the season. This does not kick off again until next November, so we won't be able to do anything there until November. But Benji, much appreciated for you jumping in there, dear sir, and thank you so much for the information. We will try harder. If we're back again once the new season starts, Benji, we'll have all the background information that we can give you. But let's get this back underway now as well. Landry making a break for it at the front. He's alongside PJ Merrill. He's alongside McLaughlin. He's alongside Mingo. Mingo's trying to get it up the inside there as well. The 26 of McLaughlin's trying to get in. He did get in. What about the 8 of Gleason Smith? He's trying to get in there as well, but he's got no room. Mingo and the 12 of Booba right behind. They've got no room either here, Brad. It's going to be 2 lines for them. You can see the lines coming in a little bit more each and every single lap. That inside that line, that marble line closes in.
Yeah, the inside line is doing very, very well at keeping things going. And early on, we said the outside line was the way to go. But as it stands right now, you really, really want to be running single file. And it's twofold. You want to just tick these laps down. You want to just keep things relaxed. But also, you need to be on the line that works. If you find yourself hanging out to dry on the outside, you're all alone. And you have no friends up there, and there's nothing that can help you. This isn't a case where you can just bump draft your way back forward up towards the lead like you could at the Super Speedway. This is short track racing. You need to be in the lane. You want the inside line. You want to keep things going, and you want to do as much as possible to keep it moving through. And another thing, James, we have been corrected on the pronunciation of a driver. It is Tristan Shea in the number 3, as we've been told in YouTube chat. So a big shout out to Ryan Shea for helping us out there with some of the pronunciations. We're not perfect on it. He is a Brit. I am a Southern U.S. person, so sometimes the pronunciation of names can get a little interesting.
Yeah, they definitely can here. And when you're putting a British guy trying to pronounce a Norwegian name, that's even more interesting. 2 wide currently at the moment. Cure out on the outside line. He's in that 82 machine. He's actually running the inside line. He's got Corey Booba right behind, right alongside him. He's trying to push him coming out of 2. Going now on the exit. Is he going to be able to make it through? He can't. He can't climb up any further. There's a gap behind, but as you can say, the only way around that is by lifting and trying to find a gap. And the problem with lifting and finding a gap, there isn't a gap, so you end up going further down the field, and that's what causes you one of the problems here. You know, it's always going to be difficult on that situation, isn't it, when you know you need to get in but you can't get in because there's no space, and the next gap is about 22 spaces behind you.
Yeah, here's the thing I'll tell these drivers on the outside line. You've got 2 options. Woe it up and try to find you a space on the inside, or throw the elbows out, hold that outside line, and keep yourself in space, and just keep yourself in that position, in that fight for where you're at, and hope the guy on the inside gets a little loose there. And either option, I mean, it depends on what you do. You see the 23 there, gets around the 18, and again, he kept his elbows out there. He was able to move his way forward and gets ahead a little bit, and there is another caution out.
Yeah, that's Tyler Jubbert. Wondering if that's all on his own at the moment. Oh, he's hit the curb. Oh, he hit that inside protective curb, but unfortunately for him, it was around he went. So, unfortunately, Jubbert, dear sir, that was you on that one. So there we go. The weekly announcer struggles sometimes too, guys. You're good. Thank you so much. I much appreciated for that one. I'm glad we're not the only one. But we do try. We do try. But as I say, it was very short notice tonight. to come in and help these guys out, and we've done it as best we can. So, Devon Landry still leading away on lap 140 as well. Any penalties on that one, Brad? You seem to have access into the know.
It looks like Tyler Jalbert disconnected from the session, so it looks like Tyler Jalbert is actually going to be out of this race from what I can see on my side.
Oh, there we go. Unfortunately for Jalbert. Somebody else comes out the pits, and then that pit exit. I can't see that in real life causing any issues much. It just looks like you come straight back out onto the track and then got to turn 90 degrees to the left. So there you go. Misha, which one struggles last? Checked. They both do. Oh. Is that last time? Sorry, I've got a heart in my way. I believe that says last time checked. Did it? Last I checked, they both do. Okay, cool. Thank you so much there as well. Right. Lap 140. We're into the last 90, guys. We've broken the 100. No, we're not actually, are we?
110 to go.
110 to go. I thought we were into the last 100 there, Brad.
What time is it for you right now?
2:30. As Landry and PJ Merrill, McLaughlin and Curate battle it out as well. Stay out there as well. I think there's Billings coming in the 23. He's got to be a little bit careful. Landry, Merrill, McLaughlin, Curate, Mingo. Mingo's side by side. He's too wide. Can he get in? He's got Booba underneath him. He's got Smith and Connolly in there. Is he going to be able to get in though, Mingo? That's going to be the problem. He's got to try and find a gap. And at the moment, there ain't no gap.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, though, is that Bubar's battled his way back up here, and he's up in the top 10 now. I mean, there was a point where Bubar was leading, got spun, sent to the back, and now is sitting within the top 10 in a good spot. Mingo likes that outside line, and Bubar likes that inside line. I think these guys are going to hold off for a minute, and as we see here, Kieran is on the inside. It's Mingo to the outside. Mingo's running real wide, though. Watch the marbles, my friend. Your tires are not going to grip. You're going to be very, very slippery like you're going down a ski slope if you stay too wide there. But he gets back in line, and there it is.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's back out again. I thought he managed to get in there because it looked like at one point he was in. But clearly he didn't get quite far enough. There's a Connolly. He's gone round.
Oh.
That's a caution all day unless they get it away. Jocelyn's gone round. There it is. Jocelyn went round, unfortunately. So Jocelyn has gone round. There he is. As we'll go back.
Yeah, it looks like starting on the front stretch there with the number 8, the number 11.
You can't. The trouble is, you can't put responsibility on there, especially when you see that it was going off in front of you. He's tried to avoid it. The number 8 has got all a little bit out of shape, hasn't he? And unfortunately, that was Gleason Smith, I believe. And Gleason looks like he got out of shape. He gets all a little bit squirrely-whirly. And then, unfortunately, goes out over the curb, bounces back in. Everybody checks up, sees him coming. And then around he went. So, there we go. Tough one there for him.
Looks like race control assigned responsibility to Jack McKee there and the number 10 for spinning Gleason Smith around, and has said that is what started the caution. So that is the first incident, I believe, for the number 10. And of course, remember, 2 incidents, you cause 2 cautions, you're parking the car, you're done for the night, and you get to go sit and have a drink and think about what you did.
Yeah, absolutely. On lap 146, 145. We're nearly there into the last 100. Let's hold on here. We can do it. We've got a few more laps. We're going backwards at the moment. We've just gone to 146 there. So let's get this up and running. Get these pace car lights off. Let's get Landry away. Let's get PJ away next to him. 146. Up to 150. That marble line is slowly creeping in. just like an old man's hairline. It's on its way in very, very slowly, and soon we won't have much room on the entrance into turn 1 once again. But Landry going to lead us away. He's going to be off here. As why would PJ go out and pick up marbles? As he's looking for the car to be loose, of course. The looser might be better around here.
I don't know. That has to be a trick that he knows that I'm just not in the know with. But he ran it up the outside there on the marbles, then brought it back down, and now he's running through. I wonder if he was just trying to kind of scare everybody so that way he could get a spot opened up to get back in the line. But, I mean, he's running through. He's got the 26 there, McLaughlin, for company on the inside. He's trying his best to hold on and get in line, but it doesn't look like he can. And there's a big wreck in the background.
That was Mingo. That was, unfortunately, Matt Mingo. Oh,
Yep.
He spins the 82.
And then the 12 collects him there.
Yeah, so that's Mingo, Booba, isn't it?
Yeah, Mingo, Bubar, and then who was the third driver? I'm trying to pick him out.
The
here.
82.
Dominic Current is who that was. So that is what caused that incident.
Well, there we go on lap number 9, on caution number 19.
These guys they're getting antsy, and they're really, really wanting to move things through. YouTube chat, can we get a rundown of the cars that are out from Michelle Rose? As soon as we get the green flag running, we can do that, because at the moment, the timing screens are doing their wonderful Swan Lake impressions again for us. So
Yeah,
as soon as we can tell who is in what position.
We can give you some. We've got Jalbert's out, Modery's out, Cookson's out, Davis is out. Plummer, Kimball, and Parrott never actually started the race. So well, technically they're out, right? Because they never started. So that's the situation at the moment. Some more people are into the pits. Landry's still there. We've got quite a few into the pits. Don't forget, they haven't got fast repairs, okay? They have not got fast repairs, so whatever damage they adhere to, they're adhering to it as it goes. They've got to try and get it repaired, and at the moment, Smith's in the pits, Greenleaf's in the pits, Haggart's in the pits. It looks like we might have lost Billings, but let's get this back up and running once again, and we'll bring you up the bottom end of the table and tell you who is out, and who is not out.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things too. I like no fast repairs personally. I really, really like that when it gets set up. But if you're involved in an incident that wasn't your fault, and you're involved in a big incident that wasn't your fault, it can be a little frustrating. But for some of these guys, you can see the front bumpers are beat up on several of these cars up at the front, just from them trying to make it through and do what they can. And sometimes you just got to deal with the steering pointing a little bit to the right and make it work.
Yeah, Landry there makes it work. He escapes as all of these cars are trying to get away again. McLaughlin is in there. Booba is in there. We've got a wide runner on the outside line. That is Nathan Barth in that machine with Cam Charles looking at tucking up the inside. Jocelyn is battling away. There's somebody off the side of the circuit. Unfortunately for him, he's dropped all the way down the order, and that was Calvin Rose, our one-time leader, Calvin Rose, don't forget, and he was up the front. So unfortunately, it looks like Rose has dropped all the way to the back.
What happened to cause that caution? I missed that one.
Dominic Currett, I believe, and Brian Canover may have had a little bit. Actually, I think it's more Currett there. You can see him in that 82 machine.
Yep. Oh,
So it says way back, didn't it? So they had the first go at each other there, 3 wide. That was the first initial contact. He's pushed him round. He's off the side of the circuit. He's not going to give him room to get back on. Nope. Oh, Brad.
Oh.
Where would you go with that? Because he didn't give him room, but then again, should he have room?
I'm trying to look one more. I don't.
If you are off the side of the circuit, are you entitled to room to come back on?
I think if you're down below that white line, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think that the car that he hit has to give him space there. And I will tell you that from what I'm seeing, it does look like Dominic Curtis has left the session. And again, is another driver down on this list of drivers that are just trying to make these 250 laps and survive it. So I don't know. I'm not gonna assign a responsibility there. All I'm gonna say is if you go off the racetrack, the drivers who are on the racing line running their lap don't need to give you space. However, if you're on the track, you need to watch out for a car rejoining like that, because they can take out your race just as bad as they take out their own.
Yeah, absolutely. WCP winner circle product, best broadcaster in the business. Love from WCP. I'm going to trust that might be my man Pius, who I'm going to set up with and have a nice little chat with tomorrow. And if it is you, Pius, thank you so much for that. Okay, we should get these guys to commentate the actual 250. Hey, I'm down. Do I have to fly anywhere though? If so, can I get a ticket? So there we go. Just
I will say I'm stateside, but however, I'm in the southern U.S., so I'll need a ticket too.
okay, right, here we go. Landry gets him away once more. McLaughlin, PJ Merrill, Corey Buba again in fourth. Yay! That is not Nathan Barth. That's the purple of Tyler Connolly. He got very, very close to the back end of Buba there, and it was nearly cost another caution on that one. Right, let's see if we can get the outs. You can see Curry is out, Canova's in the pits, Billings 4 laps down, Haggart's in the pits, Gelbert's out, Modery's out, Cookson's out. That is the top 30. After that, we've got Davis, Plummer, Parrott, and Kimball. Plummer, the last three did not take to the circuit to even get this one going, but now is Landry, now is Merrill, now is Buba on the outside. McLaughlin, unfortunately, they are too wide, too deep coming out of turn 2. We can see Connolly's in there, Burgess, Baker, Jocelyn, Galbert, all's in there, and once again the up and running and the racing's going well.
Yeah, action anywhere in the field you want to look, even though it's single file through the top 8. I mean, it's still action. They're still racing hard. You're having to look in your rearview mirror if you're in the top 8, because if the guy behind you wants to try to have a dive up the inside, dive around, he's going to do it. And they're about to take it 3 wide here in the mid-pack there with your man, the number 83 of Jocelyn, being at the head of the spear of these guys that are really racy. That number 18's in the mix. That number 10 is in the mix of McKee. I mean, these guys here in the middle of the pack have not settled down. The front of the field is setting up single file. The mid-pack's giving it plenty of action. And at the back end, they just want to see somebody spin.
Are we, though, looking at the point where we're that mid-race point? Well, we're not mid-race, we're at 157. But are we looking at the fact that they're now trying to get in to jostle for positions to move forward, right? Jocelyn's in. He was in then behind the 7 of Burgess. Is he now trying to use the outside line to move up a position when really he should probably wait for Burgess's tyres to go and use the inside line to get the position? Once your nose is up alongside your front tyres against their rear tyres, you're in. The door can't close. It's not fair. It's like having my fingers in the door and somebody shutting them on me. It's gonna, one of you's gonna end up going round, and it's not gonna be nice. The key here has got the 18 of Barker along out there as well. There's A's guys coming out of 2, going round 3, coming very quickly into 3. Barker's on that outside line. He's got to be careful of them marbles there because they're showing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, Barker on the outside again. He's another driver that's been comfortable on that outside line, and he's showing it right now as he's getting settled up. He's going just to the edge of what he can, and another caution thrown here. I see some cars
Logan
kind of
Melcher
off to the side in the background. It looks like
looks like Melcher for me. Unfortunately, Melcher's showing as he's had an incident. Has he had an incident? Nope. That's going to be a 12 machine going up the inside, or did Melcher lose it all on his own. Oh, that 12's well alongside at the moment.
Yeah, the 12's
There
all
we
over
go.
the curves, though, it looks like.
Let's just go back a little bit and see if we can pick up exactly what happened. 12's on the
12
curb. Yeah. Oh, he checks up. Watch the number 1.
Yep. Not a lot you can do in that moment either if you're the number 58.
No.
He does well. He tries to aim low, but he's carrying just a bit too much pace to try to actually make that avoidance. He was trying, though.
Yeah, that was Childs there with Melcho. And the thing is, we've said it before, we'll say it again, is when you're so nose to tail on a very short circuit, you haven't got the time to react. None of these drivers, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, none of these are AI, right? None of these can stop rapidly and get the car around there. We're not robots, we're human beings. You know, we need that second or so to react. And unfortunately, it's just not going to happen when you're in this amount of cars in a field going around a circular track like this.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are really professional, drivers. A lot of them have real life experience. I'd have to go through and look and see who has what experience where before I swear up and down to that. But all of these guys are involved in racing. But even then, you factor in internet lag into the mix of things, it makes it hard. But as we go back, we're green flag again, lap 162 kicking off here of 250. We're well within 90 to go now. And, James, what do you do at this point? If you're a driver, are you pushing it? Are you settling? Where would you land on the short track gauge if 1 is settle down and hang out and 10 is drive like you've never driven a car before?
Okay, so first off, my driving would probably not be that good that I'd be at the front, right? I just want to clarify that now. What I will say is
Big incident back in the pack.
I think that was further back, wasn't it? There he is.
Yeah, the number 10 there going around. And who is that? The 43 helped him around, possibly?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and have a look. We picked up on McKee. Was the one who went round. It was. I got a funny feeling there was some assistance from the 40 Sheen. Oh, he doesn't. I think the problem is 18 in front. McKee was there as well. Then the 43 was there. And unfortunately, the 43 just had nowhere to go. And that was Gallot as well. So, as we're on caution number 22, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not for sure, but I'd have to double check my math on that as well.
We are
race
on
control
22.
very quick. Yeah, race control quick on the hammer there. Justin Gayu was given the number 43, given the responsibility for that, sent to the end of the longest line, and that is, I believe, the first incident for him as he is still out on track. So
I think they're doing it in a way. They're picking up as well. End of line, and then you're out. So if they're at the end of the line, then they're obviously that's their first one. Any more than that, you're done. So Andrew McLaughlin is going to lead the field. He has got Tyler Connolly alongside him here. It looks like we've got Billings, Curick, Canover, Haggart, Jalbert, Modery, Cookson, Davis, Plummer. They're all out at the moment. So there we go. 163. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. And the thing is, again, these short tracks, you think it'd be just a race about who's the fastest, who's got the pace, but it truly is a game of survival. They didn't even make it across the start-finish line. Big wreck on the start-finish line there.
That guy.
Oh, I'm not even sure what happened. I hope it wasn't Gayu, because if it was, he'll be parked. We'll see here. They come around for the start. Happened in front of them there.
Oh, it happened in front, didn't it?
Looks like the number 8, possibly? Calvin Rose, the number 8.
Okay.
That's who race control is saying it was.
Great.
Yeah, you could see him.
How, though, is... He comes down, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Tries to get in, and then Charles had nowhere to go. And then, unfortunately, it all went Pete Tong, didn't it, for everyone at the back end there?
Yeah,
it wasn't Charles, it was the number one machine. Yeah, Billy Childs. So...
Oh, yeah. Got both Childs in the race.
Yeah. So, caution number 23. I am running out of paper. I'm going to have to get a second sheet in a minute.
And, like, I kind of see what Calvin Rose is trying to do. He wanted to try to get that inside line, but the issue is you're just now going green. You have got to stay in your lane until things get going. You can't try to jump down at the exit of 4. That's not going to work, one.
No.
2, if race control sees that, I mean, they can slap you on the wrist for it.
Yep.
3, if you're on that outside line, you just need to hold that line at least through the start-finish line. If you've got room, drop it into 1, because then you can have a bit of a run.
Ooh. That's the thing, isn't it? There was options, but it's just not always easy. And have you noticed the 111 of Ed Connolly at the moment, who's been involved in quite a, well, got him written down a few times, is still out there and is sitting in 3rd place, up 12 here. So the lights are going to go off once more. Pace car's going to dive in on 3. Going to go around 3, count 3 lights, then we're going to count 2, then we're going to count 1. Pace car's going to be in. Now we're going to be up and running. McLaughlin's running, and he's run like a scolded cat. Connolly and Parfitt side by side. Connolly's behind that with Cam Childs behind that. Jocelyn in the bright 83 there. Connolly's going to get out. He's going out 3 wide. Jocelyn's checked up. He had nobody behind him. Thank God for that one. Otherwise, that would have been another one here before we'd even got anywhere on 166.
Yeah, these guys getting antsy, but Barth and Connolly up at the front got a very poor restart, and I thought that the other Connolly was going to have a good run there in the 111, and there it is in the background, big wreck. And another caution, I believe this is 24. Looks like the 13 is involved, the 03 is involved, and I don't know what started that one, but man, that was a rough one there.
Tell you what, Brad, let's go back and have a look. It was... Oh!
I see a wiggle from the 40.
Yeah, me too. Got a funny feeling. The 40 stuck his nose up there. Tried to go a 3 wide in front. You can see it there. Ah, the 3's already out of sync though, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the 3 was already around before the 40 came through. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'd give the 40 responsibility for that, because I think the 3 was already halfway around. And really in these cars, once you get about a quarter of the way around, it's very, very hard to save them, especially when you're right in the middle of traffic. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to really blame that one on anyone.
Caution number 24 on lap 166. Where are we going to go with that one, Brad?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to blame that one on anyone. I think if it's anyone, it's the car in the middle who's already loose. But, I mean, if you're the car on the inside, you see the guy slow, you're just trying to make the pass, and when he snaps around and, kind of collects you, not a lot you can do. I don't know. Somebody in YouTube chat, tell me who you blame for that one. Who do you blame? Curious to see who YouTube chat says was responsible.
I'm wondering if they're going to go back to single file here. I'm wondering if they're going to go back to single file restarts. Because at the moment, looks like we possibly could do with it.
I don't think they are. I don't see anything being called by race control at the moment, so it looks like it's still double file, but we have lost a pretty significant portion of the field at the moment, so...
Rose is out, Curett's out, Canova's out, Haggart's out. So, unfortunately...
Yeah, it's... We're running, by my count, 23 cars?
Yeah, I've got that as well. Up and running again, McLaughlin here with Nathan Bath. McLaughlin's escaped once more. Then we've got Ben Burgess in there as well. So these guys are battling it out side by side. The 7 of Burgess is going alongside Childs at the moment. He's got to try and get in if he can. He can't get in currently. He's locked on that outside line. Mingo's trying to get in. Oh, he's giving Burgess a little bit of a nudge, did Mingo. He took that position away from him, Brad, and job done there for him.
Yeah, Burgess was trying to hold on to it there. He slides up, and you see Burgess sliding again. Smith has to check up the background. There's the number 43 of Gayu who has to check up as well. Thankfully, everyone's holding on. But I think at this point, some people's tires are starting to go. That number 7, Ben Burgess, having a very, very hard time. He's holding that middle line. Look at the 00, taking it 3 wide there. Merrill really wants to get through. He's trying his best. He's going to squeeze as much, but he's on the marbles. Slides a little. He's holding on to it. The 8's going to take him up of Smith, and as we come around yet again, we're still 3 wide, and this is the back of the pack. This isn't even for the lead. This is the back, but they know at this point we're lap 171 at 250. If they don't start moving up now, they are going to be stuck in the back and stuck in the middle of a mess.
Yeah, they absolutely are. We're trying to see it 3 wide further back there. That's Jocelyn in there. He's got Tapley right alongside him. Tapley's lost out a few places. There was a few checkups there as well. And the 03 of Tristan Shea, who was in that initial one on lap 166, is still battling away. He's alongside Tapley. Tapley, unfortunately, going down the order 2 wide further up. But at the moment, Andrew McLaughlin is out in second place with Nathan Barth in first, and then Tyler Connolly behind him. I don't think any of the predictions that we had here, Brad, at the beginning is quite panning out as it should do.
Yeah, the predictions in the beginning were very, very strong. There were a lot of good drivers we were told to look at. And right now, at the moment, I think the 2 that I'm really picking is Connolly and Connolly. Connolly and Connolly, the 31 and the 111, find themselves in a very, very comfortable position in 3rd and 4th. And I'm going to be honest with you, with 75 to go, I think that's where I'd want to be. I'd want to be there in that 3rd place, 4th place, and just sort of settled in on my run. Let the top 2 run their tires out. Let them try to think they're running away, save a little bit, and just send it on those final 50 laps.
Well, here we go, 176, and we're going to get to the end here. Let's see if we can. That would be absolutely amazing. Jocelyn's tucked up as well. He's behind the 41 of Burgess. He's now, actually, it's not Burgess, sorry. It is Melcher in the 41. He's up 21 positions. These guys running side by side. Burgess on the outside line. He's still trying to make that outside line work. Everybody else is a little bit fractured behind it, but it is Bath out in front with McLaughlin, Connolly and Connolly with Charles, Mingo, Barker, Landry, Bubar, and Gallo, your top 10.
Yeah, number 23 off there, I believe it was, to the side. I didn't see exactly who that was.
Billings.
But there was somebody off in the grass. Billings out of the way. And, James, we were told before the race to watch out for Adam Jocelyn, Max Cookson, and Devin Landry. I'll tell you right now, the only driver that is in a position of where I would really see something is Landry up there in 8th place.
Yeah.
And he's losing a bit of time, as we see here Nathan Barth trying to take off with it.
Yeah, at the moment, though, he's got a back marker coming in front of him. That's Cam Richards. He's going to have to try and deal with here. What's Richards going to be able to do? Coming around being lapped at the moment by the leader. Bath once more. He takes that high line. He allows Bath to have the inside. He's now got to make a decision. If he slots in behind him, there's going to be a lot more cars coming through here. Slicks is saying the 111 of Ed Connolly, whose name did pop up quite a few times earlier on. 182. The laps are coming down. Tyler Connolly in the purple machine. He's battling away. McLaughlin in second place. 2 wide further back, and around they go.
I see a car in the air. Oh, the 43 there, clobbering the 12 coming around of Corey Bubar. And small track, everybody trying to get going. You'll have a couple moments where they hit. And I'm not sure. I know the 18 was one of the first cars to come around, and not sure who else there might have been in the mix there.
Well, we're going to have a look.
Find out real quick.
Yeah, we have to go backwards, unfortunately. It's Jocelyn in there as well.
Yeah, it looks like possibly the number 40 getting in there.
Yeah, it looks like Landry might have been involved. Landry into the back of the 18.
Mm-hmm. And then that just
did that
everything around.
Yeah, Landry's into the back of the 18 machine. Numbers are dwindling. So let's get this back up and running live. Unfortunately, numbers are dwindling. That was Will Barker in there with Landry. Any news on the updates of the penalty on that one?
Nothing handed down by race control except for James. You'll be kind of happy with this. Single file restarts are now called.
Right, I'm on my second page of A4 now because I've run out of space on both sides. So we've got single file there. And we're now, at the moment, I believe that leaves Tyler Connolly in first place. What about Ed Connolly? He's in third. There we go. 25 cautions. Woof, says TJ. Yeah, I know. Welcome in. Don't forget, guys, like if you like it. Drop us a comment. Let us know what we can improve on. If you feel there's anything we need to improve on, drop us in the comment below. We'll read it. Well, I will probably read it in the morning, as I've got an early start in the morning, as I'm off to do a talk at a university tomorrow, Brad.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, I'm going to be interviewed by a young lady at it's like a conference in the university, so I'm off to do that there. So there we go. Tough break for Barker. He had been running clean and solid. Yeah, he had, unfortunately, right up until that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the painful thing about short track racing, though. One small moment can run the whole race around, and I think we're about to go back green here, James.
We are coming off 4. Pace car goes in. It's going to be Connolly leading us away with Barth in second, and Ed Connolly in third, and Ricker further back in fourth. The man that works at this circuit, of course, is in fourth place. And then we got Jocelyn there. He's got Billy Charles Jr. in front of him. Ricker's going to run it around the outside of Ed Connolly if he's going to be able to. Tyler Connolly gets a little bit sideways, a little bit squirrely there as Barth nearly takes a position away from him. 185, we're nearly there. We're nearly breaking into the final 50. Hold on to your hats. It's going to get spicier than a Vindaloo in a curry house right about now. If these guys' bums aren't twitching by now, they will be a little bit later on, as Jason Ricker is going to run the outside line round past Ed Connolly.
Yeah, Ed Connolly there. One of the two Connollys now down into fourth as Ricker's around the outside here trying to hold on to it. And look up front, there's the other Connollys under some pressure from Barth. Barth trying to take that outside line and make it work. And look at this, he's coming around. He's got it just about. He's door to door. A little bit of a tap there, and around the outside is going to go Barth. Barth still not able to make it work. Connolly is defending hard up that inside line. They're side by side now, a little bit of a nose ahead. And you've got a new leader of Mr. Barth coming up there into first place with Connolly in second, a Connolly in fourth, and between them they've got a Mr. Ricker in the number 9.
Yeah, Ricker there makes it past Ed Connolly. Connolly's gone round. Ed Connolly's going to go round. Where is it? There isn't.
Nope. No caution. They keep it going.
They keep it going. Barb's managed to hold on to the lead. Tyler Connolly in second. Rickett now is coming round Connolly here. He's moved his way up through the order as Jason Ricker, Devon Landry also there. Adam Jocelyn is also there. Oh, that's got to be a caution. Is that Barker again? Oh, no, it was Billy Childs. The number 1 machine, wasn't it?
It was, but I don't know if he was helped around or what it was that started that. I'd have to... Corey Bubar coming in and saying, sorry, Ed. So Corey Bubar taking fault for that one. It looks like, though, the number 3 is really the one that came around through. A little bit of a bump there on the 1 brings him around, and then the number 12 just straight into the back. Corey Bubar sending the number 3 around and then getting sent around by the number 26. And then at that point, you just push the dominoes over and the whole field is going to come around with it.
There was, unfortunately, Childs there being helped round by Tristan Shea. So we'll keep an eye out on the penalties and see if there's any incoming, any EOLs for that one. Looked like he had help. It did. And he did have help as well. So,
Tristan Shea.
Yeah, Tristan Shea helps Billy Shields round. Yeah, there we go. Lap caution number 26.
You know, we're caution number 26, but we're pretty far into this race at this point. Numbers are dwindling, but you know, it's really going to become a case of I think these guys are going to have to make a decision on what they do. Right now, you've got that number 9 in the lead. And they're going to have to make a decision. Are they going to save tires a little bit and push later? Or do they push now and then try to save a little bit closer to the end? If you are a driver right now, do you want to save a little bit of tire now to try to hold it till the end? Or
the problem is they only had 2 sets, right? 2 sets of tires.
Right.
So they would have had to go 125, you know, they would have had to go to 80, for instance, at least, to break this up. 85 to break it up into 3 brackets. How far have they got? Because the pit stops are all over the place. I couldn't tell you who was on fresh tyres or not, Slicks, because they are all over the place. We've got people pitting on 166, 163, 183, majority of the field, 191, the back 4. Who is on fresh tyres? I can't tell you when they would have used their 2 tyre choices. I've got to be honest, because it is just seems to be like anything goes, and I wouldn't like to fathom out how we're going to work this one out, Brad. I've got to be honest on this one. It looks like we are going to be up and running once more. Ricker is going to be out in front. Landry, Jocelyn, that's your 1, 2, 3 with Booba and Cam Charles, Matt Mingo also in there. Back up and running once again. We're on 191. Gone on to 192. Ed Connolly looks like he's the last of the runners in that 111 machine, and he's in 23rd place here. You can see him at the back part of your track map, just going over the line now. He's probably wishing we get another caution, but can we go any further than 193? Can we break 200 before we get another one? Only hope and pray, everybody at home. Get your popcorn, sit back and enjoy the racing. Don't forget to like the button on the bottom of the broadcast as well. Let's get some love from all of you beautiful people that have been here all the way through, all 112 of you. Can we get 112 likes? That would be the question.
Yeah, I think it's doable here. Everybody just needs to take half a second and look away from the screen and click like. But the thing is, there's so much action on your screen, it's so hard to look away. And I completely understand how everyone may be feeling, because this is a wild race going through. And watch this. We're on board here. We are going to just continue to watch this great action here. This is going to be on board with Mr. Bubar, who is trying to chase down Jocelyn. The bright lime green has found its way back up to the front of the field here, James. I'm sure you're ecstatic about it as we continue to go around here. Landry and Ricker up in the lead, and we're close to the 200 mark.
Yeah, we very are. We're 3 laps off the 200 mark, and yes, I am happy as he's the only one that can really... Billings.
What happened to Billings here?
This is what happened to Billings, unfortunately. It looks like Billings is the one that caused it. That Rose still running in that 8 machine. Oh, he's hit the curb.
The 8 is Gleason Smith.
Yeah, 198. It looks like Billings there. Keep an eye out on the penalty situation, of course. So there we go. Don't sleep on Adam Jocelyn. He's always there at the end. Yeah, it seems to be. And to be honest with you as well, Brandon, he's the only one I can really point out of this race because he's green. So there you go. Slicks, oh yeah, like it, y'all. Low, don't be that guy. Yeah, I agree, Slicks. Get the likes in. Be my cheerleader, buddy. You be the cheerleader.
Is there a position open for JPB cheerleader?
Yeah, well, it's down to Slicks. He's the cheer master. So he employs and fires the cheerleaders of the channel. So if he feels that you're cheerleader worthy and supportive, he will hire you as a cheerleader for JPB Broadcasts.
If I wasn't already a commentator, I'd apply for the position.
I know, right?
It'd be a good time.
Yeah,
I will say.
Just got to be supportive, and away you go. You've got to be a Slicks. That's all you got to do. So, see what happens. I think we're going to be back up and running. See the people just trying to escape out the pits. That's Barker escaping out the pits there. So, let's see if we can... Barker's... I don't think he's... Oh, he might just about make the end of the line. He has. Right. Off and running once more. Off and running once more. Oh, not this time. I thought we were going this time. Somebody, there's McLaughlin, I think that is, in the 26. I'm slowly getting there with colours as he's escaping as well. Is he going to make it round to the end of the line beforehand?
It'll be close. I think it'll be this time by that we go green.
Yeah, pace car lights are off. He's going to peel in off 3, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. And
Yeah.
there he is, peeling in. Here we go, James. Let's get this lap 200 under our belt, please.
Yeah, Ricker is breaking away from Poland in Maine. They're all from Maine, to be honest, in some shape or form, in some part of Maine. I don't know how big Maine is, of course, being an Englishman on a little island. So if anybody could tell me, that would be great. But Ricker is trying to escape. He's got Landry, he's got Jocelyn, he's got Booba behind him and Childs. That's your top 4 at the moment. We've got green flag on 197, 199. Now we're into the 200. We're settling back with a 50 mark to go. It's now, the time is hot. The heating has gone up. The temperatures are rising. And we're into the last 50. If you're not in the top 10 now, you better get moving, Nathan Bath. You better get moving, Burgess, Tapley, Greenleaf, because otherwise you're not going to get in at the end, especially with the likes of Ricker, Landry and Jocelyn. You're 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, watch Landry up here at the front. Landry is setting this pass up early. He knows that he's got a little bit more pace. He's trying his best to get a pass done. He is actually faster than Jason Ricker, looking at best times by a considerable margin. If you consider a tenth of a second a considerable margin, and I do in short track racing. But he is trying to set this pass up. You're going to see him when they go in the corner entry. He's going to look a little bit wider. He's going to exit a little bit wider. He is trying to start setting something up and get a run, he shall here. Watch him as he comes through. He's going to have just enough of a front bumper that I think he can start having the conversation and say, hey, Jason Ricker, why don't you go ahead and let me have this lead? I'm faster than you. Just go ahead and get out of my way. And Jason Ricker is going to have to defend like he's never defended before if he wants to hold on to this for another 45 laps of racing coming up.
Yeah, Landry from Augusta in Maine. Behind that is Jocelyn. And then behind that is Corey Booba. And then behind that we've got Cam Childs and Matt Mingo. So these guys are still out on the circuit as well. Mingo from Ellsworth in Maine there. How many places does Maine have? Let me know if you know how many towns or whatever you would call them, cities or whatever their areas, districts, that might be a word. Let us know how many they have as Ricker's holding on here. He's holding and holding. Do you know what? I'm wondering if Landry is scared about now, because if he opens up that door and he can't clear Ricker, Jocelyn is going to be up there like a rat up a drain pipe. That gap's going to open up, and that is literally Jocelyn's opportunity to say, dude, you leave that door open, mate, I'm going to rob you all day. And I will make sure I get my nose alongside your car. And it looks like Landry's stuck between a rock and a hard place, because he's got the pace to try and go round Ricker, but it's going to take him a few laps to get round the outside, right? We know that. We've seen it all the way through. Jocelyn now is going to be looking at it and going, go on, I dare you. Go for that outside line, take them few laps, and I am going to park my green machine right alongside you, and you are not going to be able to get in. So I'm wondering if Landry is up in arms about what he's got to do here, Brad.
I mean, it's a risk-reward situation. He can't sit back, and there's a caution again. So here's the thing. If you're in that position, you can't sit back. And this is Ben Burgess causing this one, I believe. Tried to go up the inside.
Yeah, on the curb.
He got sent around, so Ben Burgess's day is over.
It's got to be over, isn't it? He just went and thumped the wall on caution number 28. Well, I'm proud to say we don't have long left. 38 laps, if I'm doing maths at this time of the evening. So 32 laps to go. Maine has 23 cities, 430 towns, 29 plantations, according to the wiki. Oh, okay, mate. Well, there we go. Thank you, TJ, for that one. Blimey, that's a lot of everything.
So,
It's like
16 counties, James says. For comparison, though, my state has 128.
I don't have that. I'm not even going to go into mine. Let me have a look, actually. We don't have states, we have towns, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. How many cities are there in Somerset? We only have 2. Let me try and find the rest of it there. We have 43 towns. Well, it's separated between villages and towns. So villages is smaller than towns, right? But let's get this back up and running as we got distracted by the population of Somerset there. Ricker, Landry, Jocelyn, Booba, Childs, all are getting a green. And we're all away one more time on the lap 212. And Ricker's holding on. He's holding on tightly once again. He is that cliff climber. He is hanging on by his fingertips. Does he let the rope slip? Or does he grab hold of it and let, unfortunately, Landry go through for his own survival? Well, time's going to tell as we're coming into lap 213.
Yeah, I don't think Jason Ricker is going to let this one go at all. If Landry wants it, he has to make the move stick. He needs to send it up the inside, make it stick and go. He cannot sit back. But here's the thing. I think that Devin Landry is a smart driver and understands that this is a long race. There's still plenty of laps to go. As we wind out lap 215, coming across the line, it'll be lap 216 of 250. So I think that Mr. Devin Landry understands this is a long race, plenty of time to go. There's no sense in making some sort of a cheeky move now when you can make it with 5 to go, make it stick, and then have the win. That's actually how I won my first short track race. I led 1 lap. It was the last lap.
And that's all you need to lead. That is all you need to lead is the last lap. You don't need to be there. For Ricker, though, the problem for Landry is look how tight Ricker is hanging that line. The problem is his corner exit is making his car go out just a little bit coming out of 2. Now watch him coming out of 2. He just drifts a little bit wide. Almost. Oh, Landry just can't get there. And Landry's trying to bully him off that inside line. Ricker's got to tighten up his entry and he's got to try and tighten up his exit. Because otherwise, Landry's going to make it through on that inside. Look, the door's just about open there, Brad. If he gets him up the inside, Ricker's got a choice to make.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If I'm Devin Landry, I want to go up the inside, but Jason Ricker is keeping that car so low on the line. He's not giving him space. He's got to get a run somewhere to try to get a nose up the inside if he wants to do it. Really, he needs to hang it wide out of 4 or out of 2 and then try to send it up the inside, get just enough of a run that he can go there. But he also, we've seen a lot of passes on the outside today, so I don't think the outside line is bad. I think if Devin Landry wants to really make the move, he needs to do on the outside. Look at him, right as I'm saying it. Yeah. He's making that move.
He's got him off it. He's got him off it. He's got him off it. Oh! Oh, get in, get in. Oh, Ricker's trying to tuck it back in. He's got to break. He's got to break. You cannot do that. I don't think he's going to be able to lift. He's got to break that car into that corner and get that front end through. He's got to trail break it in, because if he doesn't trail break it in, the door's going to open. Landry's going to say thank you very much, and unfortunately for Ricker, he's going to lose it. Over 25 laps to go. 25 laps to go, everybody. For all of you that have sat here for a good couple of hours and watched this race, we've got 25 to go. The front are closing up. Jocelyn's got a second life. Mingo's behind him. Boobar's behind him. Childs and Melcher is behind that as well. Now it's all about the top 3. What are they going to do here?
And here's the thing, in 25 laps, it could be anyone but the top 3. We have no way to know. Here's the thing that I need Landry to do right now. Landry has got to make it stick up the inside. He needs to get the nose in and go through. And the issue is if Jason Ricker wants to try to chop the nose off, hold it in the place. Just hold it down low, make it stick. Because the thing is, Jason Ricker is going to try to send it low, and they're coming up on lap traffic, James. They're coming up on lap traffic, and how does this affect things? Is this going to get Jason Ricker all out of shape? There's a spin in the background.
I tell you what, if Ricker's got any tyres left, now's the opportunity. And I've got a funny feeling it was on Mingo here that may have hit this, and Cam Charles. Mingo.
Into the curb.
His door's open. Oh, caution number 29. If Rick has got any tyres left, you got to do them. And if he hasn't, well, you got to hold on there, boy. You've got to hold on as Mingo and Childs are battling it out here for the final spot with Jocelyn behind it. So let's see how these guys are going to get on. It's going to be spicy. It's going to be interesting. What do we think? What do we think is going to happen?
Fireworks. Whatever happens in the next 24, 23 laps, it's fireworks. I don't have a prediction. I'm not going to make a prediction because I don't want anyone to say that it's on me, but I'm going to just tell you right now, whatever happens is fireworks coming up to the end.
I agree. I agree with you. There's going to be fireworks. Now, did Mingo come down on Childs? That's a good question. Childs, it looks like he got ran wide, and then Mingo did get that little bit of a nose. Was it enough? Was it his full snout, or was it just a nose hair? That's going to be the question for the race control to make. And at the moment, Cam Richards is in the pits. Have we heard any penalties coming out in the last one?
Nothing's been sent down that I've seen, so I don't know what, if any sort of a call is going to be made. I will say, those sausage curbs on the inside, are they sausage curbs? Whatever that is, the curbing on the inside there of the quote-unquote corners of this circle track is dangerous.
Yeah, you don't hit them. It's like trying to accelerate on a sausage curb on a road circuit. It's just not done. Because you'll unsettle in the car, you've got more slip on the inside, and instantly you're going to try and check up, and as soon as you check up, somebody's close enough right behind you and is unfortunately going to just tap you round. 23 to go, it looks like. We've got Ricker here. And that hour, Brad, that you said at the beginning, if we go green, we ain't gone green.
Hey, that was an optimistic prediction. I didn't say it was going to happen. I was just being optimistic. We are back green, though, James. 23 to go as they cross the line here.
Oh, Jocelyn. Oh, he nearly got a run on Landry. Jocelyn nearly got the run on Landry right near the end. Now it's Ricker, now it's Landry, now it's Jocelyn, now it's Booba. Now they've got the top four. Melcher's behind him in fifth. He's going to try and close it out. Ricker knows he's got to hold on. He knows he's got to hug that white line. He's got to hug that inside line. Tighter than my daughter hugging a teddy bear, I can tell you that much. Because if he doesn't, it's all going to go a little bit wrong here now. Ricker's got to get it back in. Jocelyn's got to decide what's he going to do here. Is Landry going to have enough tyres? Ricker's going to leave the door. There was almost contact before the last yellow. Is there going to be contact again as they're coming into 21 to go, Brad?
20 to go as they cross the line here, and Landry, if he's going to do it, he's got to do it now, but I think he is trying to hold a little bit. I think he's trying to keep a little bit back here. I think Landry knows he's got pace. I think Landry knows he's got it on Ricker. If he has the tires left to do it, it's just a matter of when does he set it up. He doesn't want to try to go too soon. He doesn't want to cause a wreck either. He doesn't want to spin around Ricker, and that would be Landry's day over. And here we go. He's going to start looking at that outside line when he starts taking that nose to the outside. That is the time. Here it goes. Here it goes. He's trying to set the inside. Does he have the run? He doesn't have the run, but Ricker's going to run wide. Here we go again, James, as we come around back out. He looks outside again. He's trying to set it up out of 4 going into 1. If he can do it, it's going to be big.
Yeah, Ricker's going to be hard on the brakes. He's going to try and get that front end turned in, going into 1 and 2. Now Landry's settled in, his nose to tail. He gives Ricker a little bump just to say... Oh, Jocelyn's there as well. Now we're going to be going into the final 16. Ricker is hanging on by a thread. It is that thread on your underpants that you just don't want to pull, because if you pull it, the rest of the band's coming off, and Ricker is holding on to that little bit of a thread with Landry tucked in right behind him. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, no. Jason Ricker went around. No, that was... Oh, my gosh. What has happened there to send Landry around? Did he just lose it on his own?
The yellow's going to come out in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Does he get lucky because of when the yellow came? Oh, the curb!
Oh, Landry hit the curb.
Does he get lucky and get to keep that second place, though?
Oh, I don't know, but we're on caution number 30. That wasn't the cause of the incident, guys. Sorry, that was just a late one. I think it was Childs and McKee having a little bit of a tat-tat-tat further back. McKee in the number 10, Childs in the blue machine. Childs looks like he's going to get the run. Oh, McKee's already gone round, and then unfortunately for Childs, there was just nowhere to go. But now, what happens with Landry? That's going to be the question.
It looks like Landry is stuck to the back because he lost his pace. So there's your green machine, the number 83. He is now in the run for second.
Come on, let's get this guy. Do you know what? Right about now, though, if Ricker loses the win, that would be the hardest thing for him to swallow, because he has been in the lead for so long, and he's held on the attack from Landry. He's held on from the attack from everybody else. He's got bare tires, right? His aren't even slicks, they're rims. There's nothing left on him. He can't hold the car in any corner apart from taking it at what can only be deemed as a snail's pace right about now. But this young man on this racetrack. So let's see what goes on. He does work at, didn't I see earlier on, he works at the racetrack, if I'm not mistaken. So he knows this racetrack.
Ask you that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Somebody said earlier on, fun fact, Ricker works at the track as something. I can't remember what it was. Pace car lights are up. Now, if Ricker holds on, this is what's going to happen now. He is going to be slow. What has Jocelyn got left? What has Buba got left? What's Melcher got left? Have any of these guys got anything left in the tank or in the tyres to be able to run Ricker? Because you've seen what he does, right, Brad, over the last 10 laps or 15 laps. He is literally hugging the white line. He's now trying to break away. He's got a little bit of a gap, 4 tenths. He's trying to keep it in on the white line. What's Jocelyn got left in the tank? What's the green machine there in number 83 in second? What's Buba got in there? What's the grave digger of Melcher got in there? What have they all got left in the tyre life? It's all going to come down to who's going to slip, who's going to slide, who's going to be on ice, who's going to be on Bambi and spread eagled across the ice rink. But at the moment, it's Ricker still holding on.
Yeah, Ricker's holding on, but Jocelyn is faster sector by sector just a little bit. Just enough that it is going to start chopping into this lead if he can. But here's the thing. Here's the thing as we hit 11 to go when they cross the line. It is one thing to catch, it's another to pass. But with 11 to go, I think the desperation's going to hit. Someone's going to have to make a move somewhere, or Ricker really needs to hit the gas. I think he might have saved just enough, if anything. And yellow flag out with 10 to go here.
Oh, no. Looks like it could be Nathan Barth. Could be Nathan Barth.
Restarts are backed up.
Oh, Tyler Connolly and Nathan Barth coming back there on caution number 31 on lap 240. That was Barth and Connolly. Oh, better put an initial next to that because that was actually Tyler, not Ed. So there we go. He's a race tech. He's a tech guy and also a race director. Thank you very much for that. I didn't know that. I did see the comment earlier that said he was part of it. So there we go. But thank you to everybody who sat here for the last 2.5 hours and watched these guys go round in circles. What can only be, I wouldn't want to drive it. This track is tricky. It is so tricky. And Landry, I can guarantee he's going to be kicking himself about now. He had the pace. He knows the circuit. What does he go and do? He hit the white ribbed curves on the inside on the front end after the yellow was called, mind you, after the yellow was called, and then unfortunately goes round and loses all of them positions. Flex is still here. If they want to pass, they would need to take a risky move. They will. Double file.
Yep.
10 to go. If Jocelyn gets, he's got to get the jump. He's got to get a jump on Buba on the inside. Otherwise, he's going to be, well, Unless he's got the pace of Rick around that outside line.
I was going to say, leader sets the go, so whatever point Jason Ricker decides to go, that's when we go. But the thing is, he does have pace. Adam Jocelyn has pace. So as we go here, there it is. Ricker knows that there's pace and cuts him off, gets him out of the way, and 10 to go. These 10 laps are going to go very, very quickly. But here's the thing, Jocelyn has pace, James. And can he use that pace to get around? He needs to get back up there. He's close. But, 9 to go, he might not have enough time.
No, I think if he's going to do it now, it's got to be nose to tail. Connolly's Ed Connolly. There's going to be a yellow. Ed Connolly in the background. Caution number 32.
Was that on his own?
I'm going to find out in a very short while, mate. Because I've got a funny feeling it wasn't. So let's see if we can get a wide angle on that one. Him and Childs.
He just bumped the inside there. He was on the inside and just came around.
Yeah. So there we go, unfortunately, for Ed Connolly, Tyler Connolly and Ed Connolly. 8 to go. That was on lap 242. 32 cautions in. 32. Gee whiz.
Man. I mean, I'll give the guys credit. They've been running hard. They have been running hard.
How would you last 2 sets on 250 laps around this circuit?
Wing and a prayer. That is all that I can tell
mate,
you. Wing and a prayer.
Yeah, you got to think that would be the only thing you can do. There's the number 3s coming out of the pit lane there, as unfortunately for him. He did make it out though, mind you, which is great. Childs is still in the pit lane on the right. Ricker's now teasing Jocelyn. He's almost saying to him, right, I'm going to go. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am not. I am not. I am not. I am not. Oh, the contact lane didn't even go anywhere.
Oh, gosh.
Boomer's
the fake
out.
worked.
Oh, come on. Oh, no.
Oh, the fake worked. Look at that. On the number 12.
Yeah, he goes round, but what's Burgess? Oh.
Gets picked. Oh.
Oh.
I think Burgess's race might. That car might be a little irreparable right there.
Caution number 33 on lap 243. And that was Burgess, unfortunately. Booba was in there as well, because he kind of went round, didn't he? I think there was Childs was in there. McKee was in that one, because he's the number 10 machine, if I'm not mistaken. Number 10 caught a ride. He definitely did. It's a bit hard to go back and have a look, because they start so quickly after the green flag. I can't quite analyse it like we can do on longer circuits. This short track doesn't give me a lot of time to go back and have a look. I dread to think going back to have a look through all of these incidents after this. Me and Brad would be here for another 2.5 hours, 3 hours looking back at them all.
Yeah.
I don't fancy that, Brad. Considering in about 4 hours, 4.5 hours time, I have to get out of bed.
You know, I said it on Twitter, X, whatever you want to refer to it as. I know everyone's kind of 50-50 on what they call it. You don't sleep, James. You don't sleep, man.
I do, mate. I get about 4 hours. That's enough.
Couldn't be me.
No,
I'll give you the credit for it, but it couldn't be me.
No, they do say you're supposed to have 8, but my body don't like 8 hours. Any more than 5 or 6 hours sleep, and my body's like, I wake up. I feel like I've been in a sauna all night, like dehydrated and everything. Horrible, to be blatantly honest. Right. There we go. Come on, last 8. He's gone. Jocelyn's in. Jocelyn did what he had to do. Melcher missed it. Tyler Connolly's in there. So Tyler's trying to run on the outside. Ricker's in. 7 to go. Jocelyn's in the mix. Melcher's in the mix. Who's got what tyre? That's going to be the question. Who's got enough here, Brad, to hold on to this one?
I think even if Jocelyn has enough tire, I don't think he has enough time. He needed to set this up right off the race restart and try to get something running. He's not close enough there, but Melcher's in a good spot. as well to kind of hold P3. If Ricker has any sort of a wiggle, any sort of an issue at all, Jocelyn could find himself with the win here. If they cross the line, it should be 4 to go here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's very, very, very close.
Jocelyn shut the door off. Oh, Melcher's coming in behind your son. Connolly's on the outside there in the purple machine. Ed Connolly's too wide further back. 4 to go at the 200 and... I tell you what, Ricker is not loving that about now. And I got a funny feeling that that's there. Calvin Rose. That was a curve. All on his own. Calvin Rose all on his own on that one, Brad. 4 to go.
I hate to see it because at one point Calvin Rose was up front leading.
Yeah, and unfortunately he got slightly tapped round, didn't he?
A little more than slightly.
Look, yeah, I don't want to get myself in trouble, Brad. Okay, I've been in enough trouble this week with stewards, and I don't really feel I need to be in any more.
Listen, I was right there with you in the conversation.
We were both getting slapped together. So let's not get ourselves any more. I really want to try and avoid getting called up into the steward's room to explain my comments. So let's try and avoid that one. You know. Yeah. Please do. Right, Jocelyn's got another crack at the whip. Can he hold it this time?
No, I don't think he can. I think Jason there on the inside is going to have enough of a run to be able to, because he dictates the pace. So when he goes, it's just a response, and there it is.
Oh, Melcher's
he's got
in
to
there.
chop the nose of Melcher.
Oh, let that run. Let that car run, Adam. This Melcher's coming in. Logan Melcher's in. They've pushed him out. Oh, Jocelyn, you've been pushed out. That's it. You are like the bad smell at a birthday party.
No!
Do you know what? If that's Jocelyn in third, do you know where that puts him? Right behind the leader.
It does. It puts Melcher up. Oh, green-white-checkered. Race is extended for a green-white-checkered. So I'm sure everyone watching is familiar, but for those of you who aren't, as we see this replay of what's going on, so they'll take the line. It's green. Next flag is white. Next flag ends it. And they have 3 attempts.
Yes, they do. Is that Billings in that 23 machine? It is. And Barker, isn't it?
It is.
Burgess is in there in the 7, isn't he? Check me out getting to know all these drivers before I end up a 250 lap race. I can't believe I just spent all this time to watch Ricker win. Not yet, Brandon. Not yet. Adam won't move in on purpose. He knows not to throw away a second place. Yeah, but the problem is at the moment, he's not got a second place. Melcher has. The only thing Jocelyn can do now is sit right on the back end of Ricker.
It's going to be so close off the line. And the 40
Whoa!
just... Whoa! What was that?
I don't know. Let's not worry about that. Let's get this up and running. Jocelyn's got to be on Ricker's bumper. He has to be on Ricker's bumper and then force Ricker to make it. He's gone. Jocelyn's missed it. Melcher's in. Now it's all on Melcher. Can he force Ricker to make a mistake? There's a back marker coming out of the pits. Oh, they're going to...
Oh, big wreck in the back. Green-white-checkered number 2 coming at us because... what was that caused by, though? The 26 is around. 58 collects him.
Yeah, McLaughlin went round, didn't he?
Smith came around, too, in the 8.
Yeah, Brandon...
Who was that on the outside?
Did McLaughlin... Oh...
I'll tell you what.
6 on lap 252. Go on, sorry.
If you're Adam Jocelyn right now, you are thanking your lucky stars. You get another attempt at getting this through.
TJ in YouTube chat, lucky number 36. Yeah, I know. The thing is,
man.
are they called single file or not?
It is
Double.
last call I saw was double file.
He's gone on the exit of 3, right? He's gone between 3 and 4, which I know doesn't help a lot when you're trying to single a long corner. But watch the pace car go in and then he goes. If I was Jocelyn, I would go now. I would go now because I know Rick is, look, he's gone. Same place, on the edge of the curb, same time, edge of the cones, every single time he's done the same thing. Now, what's Melcher going to do? Can he force Ricker off the inside? Can he force him away from that inside line with 2 to go? We've got the 2. We've got the final lap in 14 seconds, 10 seconds. We're going to find out. Is it going to be Ricker? Is it going to be Melcher? Is it going to be Jocelyn? It looks like it could be Ricker. He's got one more corner to hold on for. He tightens the line up. It's going to be a run down the line. It's going to be Ricker. Oh. Jason Ricker gets it with Melcher, gets it with Jocelyn, and that is your 1, 2, 3.
Ricker, Melcher, Jocelyn, McLaughlin getting the pass to 4th there at the end around Connolly. Connolly, 5th and 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricker wins it and is going to burn the house down.
There he is, your winner. Is he going to put it against the wall? That's going to be the question. Or is he just going to donut it up? What a finish, says Peggles. Good job you missed the other 36 cautions, Seth. Tell you that much. Put it against the wall.
See some fun.
Oh, put it against the wall. Well, there we go. Why he's donutting and burning out will bring you the results here. Jason Ricker is your $80 richer man. Little dinner is on Ricker in the Ricker household, where Logan Melcher takes home the 40, Adam Jocelyn takes home the 25, and Andrew McLaughlin gets the 15 in 4th. Then we got Tyler Connolly and Ed Connolly there in 5th and 6th. Corey Boober in 7th, Matt Mingo 8th, Scott Tapley 9th, Calvin Rose in 10th. Ben Burgess in 11th, Jack McKee in 12th, Justin Gallo in 13th, William Barker 14th, Cam Charles 15th, Cody Billings 16th, and then Gleason Smith is a lap down with Tristan Shea a lap down as well. David Greenleaf 2 laps down, Devin Landry 4 laps down. The man lost it under a yellow. Unbelievable. Billy Childs 5 laps, Nathan Barr 13, PJ 23, Cam 448. Then we got Dominic Curate 103, Brian Conover 103, Noah Haggart 114, and Tyler Jalbert 116 laps down. On from that one, Ryan Moderay 125, Matt Cookson, Michael Davis, Jack Plummer, Bug Parrott, and Sean Kimball did not take to the start. But that from Logan Ricker was just insane. He had that loose car constantly over the last, 30 laps?
30 to 50. I mean, Jason Ricker was trying to hold on to it, send it, do everything possible to just keep that lead. I mean, against Logan Melcher, did a great job. Against Adam Jocelyn, did a great job. Against Devin Landry, I mean, I would not want to pin Jason Ricker defending that, because that was wild. And remember, he works at this circuit in real life, and a lot of these drivers race at this circuit in real life. So, I mean, man, what a race.
Let's give them a couple of minutes to find out if they're doing interviews. And then if not, we will wrap this one up. Have a good night, James and Brad. Good night, TJ. Thanks so much for staying in here with us. Cool broadcast. I'll check you guys out at a later race. Yes, change record you can. We've got a lot of racing coming up here as well. None tomorrow, but it's starting to get on Friday. So if you want to get yourself and come and view on Friday, then you can. And then over the weekend, well, 6 broadcasts on Sunday. Take your pick. There's loads going on the JPB YouTube channel. If you haven't already liked, guys, if you can, that would be absolutely amazing. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Just waiting for final confirmation if we are going to do interviews, and then we will see what we will do there. Let's have a chat. We are going to have a chat here with a man that took the win. He hung on for dear life over the last 30 or 40 laps here once again, but it is your winner, your number 9, your forward entrepreneur who took the win. He took the victory overall. Jason Ricker, welcome into the booth, dear sir.
Thanks, guys. How are you guys doing tonight?
Mate, I'm all right, I think. We're 36 caution race over 250 laps. And I've just watched you come over the line. How was it out there for you? It's a long one, isn't it?
That was a long one. Really didn't play our strategy right, but it all worked out in the end. Really being on that backstretch pit, I couldn't pit and not get a black flag or drop to the rear. Both times I pitted, or 3 times I pitted, I had to drop to the rear for inappropriate missing pit lane or something, because it's hard to get the car to turn down there. So it was pretty eventful to start last. I started 20th at the beginning of the race, but after, like it says, after I pitted, I got dropped to the tail end of the longest line. So having to come through the field 3 times was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was. Tell us what you do here at Oxford. Now, I understand that you work here. Is that right?
I do. My day-to-day job is working for Escalating Speedway. I could be doing anything from selling tickets to working in the concession stands to my job title is head tech. I do all the tech inspections for the racetrack and stuff for all the divisions, answer all the phone calls. Monday through Friday, I could be out blowing off the track, cleaning it, getting it ready to go, to replacing bleacher boards, to mowing the lawn. So it keeps me pretty busy. We're real excited to get things going here at 2024 in about a month.
Yeah, you got about a month's time. You got some more racing coming up as well. But you, though, $80 richer. Is dinner on you tonight?
Excuse me?
Well, it's $80, isn't it, for the first place?
Yeah, I don't even know what it pays, to be honest. I think it's $80, so that's a pretty good payday. I kind of gave up 75 last week. I've never won a Maine sim race with Sean as long as I've been doing it, and was racing Adam for the championship last week at Hickory, and miscalculation, I spun myself out with 2 to go going for the win. So that kind of stung a little bit, but this is a little bit of redemption and helps the wallet as well.
Yeah, it definitely does. There was watching Devin Landry go round under a yellow. Just as the yellow was called, he went round off the curb. Did you sit back and think, oh, I might actually have this now? Because Devin was giving you a lot of problems.
Devin is very fast on the sim. Devin is a good guy. He's one of our crew members. I've raced a few times at Oxford and stuff. I know him really well and stuff. And yeah, he did have me nervous. He was filling that mirror up, and I was trying just to hit my marks. And if he was going to go by me on the outside. But I was really trying. I made one mistake on the backstretch, and I felt bad. I chopped him, and he lifted and let me in. And the competitor in me, when I saw him go around under caution, it really did not disappoint me that much.
Jason, congratulations on your victory, dear sir. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Definitely RKM Setup Shops, Sean, you guys for putting the broadcast on, Oxford Speedway. All make this possible for us. Like it says, keeps us kind of busy. Our kind of last finale, I guess we'll call it, for the winter, because I think we all pretty much start racing the next week or two. We're really getting busy with real life race cars. So my other friends at 229 Autosports, teammates, anybody that's been listening, all the guys that we race with and stuff, all been real great to race with all year long. So just happy to end the year on a high note.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Well, Jason, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Good luck in your real racing career, mate. And we might see you again come November.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you guys again very, very much for broadcasting and doing what you guys do for the race.
Thank you very much there, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
Right, next up, we're going to have a chat with Logan Melcher here as well. Logan finished in second place. Jocelyn missed the start in the final caution. Logan come through and said, thank you very much. Almost took the victory. Couldn't quite wrap it up. He lost it by a 10th, which is, blink your eyes, that's a 10th. But let's have a chat with him now. Logan, welcome into the booth, dear sir. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
Dude, I am amazing. I've just watched some great short track racing. All right, we had 36 cautions, but the upside is you were up 30 places throughout that race. How was it out there for you?
It's pretty rough. At one point in time, I was wrecked pretty good, so I was hoping just to salvage top 10 or 15. To come home second place, almost getting the win. It was pretty surreal. I got to ask you, sir, you sound like you're more of a road course guy than a short track guy.
Ah, dude, see? I get that question all the time as an Englishman who broadcasts NASCAR. Trust me. It's not the first time, but no, I'm pretty knowledgeable on all of it. So I like to think I'm an all-rounder, Logan.
That's my boy.
You know what I mean? Listen to it back and then let me know what you think. But going forward for you, dude, look, you know this is the last race of the season. You know, are you venturing into real-life racing over the next month or so?
I am. I run one of those cars that we just ran in the real world at Oxford sometimes at other tracks. So I'm just waiting for the season to start that and put the iRacing rig away for a little while.
Yeah, but then don't forget next November, dear sir, the iRacing rig will come out again, no doubt, here as well.
That's right.
Going forward, though, for you, you know, you've taken a great second place. What are you going to take learning-wise out of this race? Is there much you can learn from what's happened here today?
Learn just to watch the mirror once somebody else is spinning, just to try to avoid somebody coming in behind you that don't see the wreck. Maybe coming out of 4 with the checkered flag waving instead of burping the throttle. Like coming out of 4, I gassed it up and I was gonna hit Jason if I stayed in it, so I just gave it a quick burp just to keep it off of him. Maybe I let it wash up a little bit, give him a little bumperoonie and try to steal it.
Oh, you could.
But Jason's a really good guy.
Maybe a little bumping him out high might have opened up the inside because he was hugging that white line like an absolute trooper. Was Jason there? But Tyler, Logan, thanks so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, bud?
Yeah, I gotta thank my buddy Davey Gravy. He was in the race. My buddy Matt Mingo. My other buddy Nick Hinckley bet on somebody else in the race, so I'm not thanking him whatsoever. And I gotta thank Sean for putting the race on. I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting this. It's pretty cool of you to come on.
No worries there, bud. It's been our pleasure, but thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully we might see you back again in November.
Yes, sir.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Right, and the last one on this one was the number 83, the Green Machine. I called it early as it was the only car I could recognize out of everybody there as well, and he did a great job putting it on 3rd place, up 4 places from the beginning. He took the podium, and he is currently $25 richer. But let's have a chat with him. Adam, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, you want to know something? I actually changed the color of the car so it would show up on the broadcast brighter.
Well, mate, I got to thank you for that because yours is the only car I actually recognised from the very beginning. Being that we've only been here once. So, yeah, thanks for that. How was it out there for you, though, bud?
Just tried to be patient. There was a lot of cautions, and I tried to stay out of some stuff. I got spun once, and that kind of threw me to the back, and my strategy of being patient kind of went out the window. And I really had to fight and claw to get back to the front, and I ran out of tires by the end of the race.
Yeah, we did say, I think most people were running on rims. I've got to be honest, nobody could have got them 2 sets to the end. It would have been just impossible. Got to ask you a question, if you don't mind, though. On the final restart, did you feel you missed it a bit? Because you had the inside line.
A little bit, but I really needed, when I was on the outside of Jason, to stay on his right rear and pinch him down, and I just couldn't get the launch to stay on his right side. I had it once and the caution came out, but if I could have stayed on his outside and pinched him down, I could have had a fighting chance, but I had nothing if I was running on the bottom.
No, the only thing was with Jason he was drifting out. I don't think he had a lot of tyres left either. He was slowly opening up the door. Just couldn't get your nose in there, sir, unfortunately. But for you going forward, what are you going to take coming out of tonight? What's the learning aspect of this evening's race?
Just use your brain. I won the championship of the series this last week, and this wasn't a points race, but it still comes down to using your brain and thinking 10 steps ahead, and not getting involved in other people's stuff that's going on. Just staying quiet and racing clean.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there, dear sir, as well. It was a very interesting evening of racing. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
LST Motorsports Park, RPM, Sean for the league. It's been awesome this season. Appreciate everything he does. It's been good. Thank you for broadcasting this.
No worries, buddy. It's been our pleasure. Well, Adam, good luck. Are you going into real world racing in the next couple of weeks?
No, next couple of months. I got some work to do.
Okay, mate. Well, good luck in that one. And hopefully we might see you again in November. But for now, though, buddy, take care.
Thank you.
Right, let's bring in Sean here. I've got to make sure I grab the right person this time and have a quick chat with Sean Kibble, who does put all of these events on as well. Sean, welcome into the booth, dear sir. How are you?
I'm well. How about you guys?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I'm sat here, we watched some great racing, all right, the 36 cautions didn't help, but overall, it was a good ending. What's it like for you? You were obviously within the session, you didn't race tonight.
Nope, I generally don't. I did actually run one race earlier this season when we had a pretty low car count, but generally I just administer the races and try to keep an eye on everybody and keep them in line, and varying degrees of success on that. Tonight was a little bit of a mess a lot of times, but that's just what I signed up for. I created this as a place for people up in Maine that love racing to do something in the winter, and this is our 4th season, and it's been pretty successful.
Yeah, it has. You had quite a good turnout tonight. I think it was 31. I don't think Jake or Bunk made it. Going forward for you, what's the plan for the series? Obviously, now you're on your break right the way through till next November. What's the plan for you? Okay, so let's go into what's the plan for you in real life. Are you going into car racing? Because obviously it's our first time here, so we're learning the drivers. Are you going into real life racing after this?
My racing days are over. I used to race mini stocks, 4-cylinder stuff, and was pretty successful in that. And I did some race directing at Wiscasset Speedway for a little bit, and that didn't really work because I got a couple young kids and a wife, and it interfered with a lot of the weekend plans there. So I kind of gave that up too, and this was like a replacement for that. But going forward, I've actually decided that this is probably going to be my last season doing this. I'm going to see if somebody else wants to take it over, and I can help them get started if they want to do that. But I think I've run my course running this series. It's been fun, but it's a lot of work too. And I'm going to try to find somebody else that wants to do it if they want to, and I'd certainly help them out getting started and guide them along the way if they wanted.
Yeah, I get the things of running leagues, mate. It's very difficult. It's very time consuming. It's practically 24/7 at times as well. But Sean, thank you so much for having us along. It's been a great evening of racing. We've seen a lot, and it's been absolutely incredible. Is there anyone then on your final flurry, should we say, up into the booth that you want to shout out before we let you go?
I'd just like to thank all the drivers that participated in this, and I hope that overall it was a good experience for them. There was obviously some frustrations along the way, but I hope it was fun and it was an escape from reality, so to speak, and instill some racing that everybody loves, and we can't do it in the winter. But it's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad I was able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably a lot safer as well than some of the incidents we've seen here tonight. In the real world, it probably would have been a lot worse for them. But Sean, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you again for having us along, and it's been our pleasure being up here in the booth. Whatever you decide to do, mate, good luck in your future endeavours, and I'm sure you'll be missed within the league, and everybody has shouted you out and said thank you, so that's always nice. But good luck in whatever you plan on doing after this, mate, and I hope you have a good one.
Thank you very much. And I did keep an eye on the broadcast when I was able, and I just want to say you guys did a fantastic job for such short notice and not really knowing anything about this series. I'm thrilled with how well the broadcast turned out. You guys did awesome.
Thank you very much, Sean. As I say, it's our pleasure to fill in at the last minute as well. So, but good luck, buddy, and we'll look forward. Hopefully, we never know. We might have a conversation soon again.
We might. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go, Brad. I think very successful evening. Yes, we had 36 cautions, but we had great racing. We had great everything. Sean's bowed out now. That's it. He says it's his last season. A lot of these drivers going back to real world racing as well. So good luck to everybody. If you do watch this back, good luck to you all for whatever endeavors you're going into. But I think as a series, you can see how they make this work, can't you? With everybody within one area as such, coming out on track when their winter seasons have shut down.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to, especially if you're a real life driver up in that area, to keep sharp, kind of keep on your game, because there are things in sim racing that you can carry over into real life. I know that's crazy to say out loud, but if you're someone in sim racing, it's not that unrealistic of a jump to go back and forth. So I love seeing real life drivers and real life people involved in motorsports embrace this sim racing setup. I'm sad to see that Sean's bowing out, but hopefully somebody will pick it up here out of all of these other drivers involved. Someone will say, you know what? I want to admin this. I want to pick this up. I want to be in charge of organizing this, because come November, a lot of these drivers are going to be looking for that again. They're going to be looking to get on the Facebook page for this group and say, okay, I want to get racing. Let's get racing. So really, really hope this series continues. And of course, if you're in the northeastern U.S., make a trip and go check some of these guys out. They are all very talented drivers, and sim racing is one small facet. And just because, maybe today wasn't their day doesn't mean they're not successful on a real life track.
Yeah, I do fully agree. Well, thank you very much, guys, for everybody that's joined us. YouTube has been going absolutely crazy, and I can't name you all, so I'm just going to say thank you to every single one of you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you alongside us up here in the booth as well, and thank you again for joining us. As always, don't forget, like, subscribe, and do all the other fancy jazz you can do here, guys. But that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go off to bed, as I've got to get up in about 3.5 hours time. So for now, guys, from myself, I've been James Parfitt alongside Bradley Dalton, and as always, guys, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track next time. Good night.